into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the start of a brand new day on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. My name is Jamie Domberg, and I am with this person that I've missed so much. Hello.
I missed you too, Jamie. Les Raldemone, you beautiful people, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I've got to say, you're looking good. You're looking comfy, but it like work. It's almost like a one piece, but it's not.
I know.
What's going on here? This is a vibe.
I feel so comfortable. Thank you so much to our stylist, Robin, who styled me in this. All Levi's, swagged out, dripping for this Thursday, bringing the gears. Even you. I like the casual look that we're going for this morning.
Man, I'm
clearly
feeling it.
Inspired by what we have to offer today.
You know what else I'm feeling? And I know everybody's so excited because this morning, listen up, of course, we're about to be exploring the magnificent film that everybody's been talking about and everyone's been hyping. It's Dune, ahead of its release in cinemas tomorrow. And it's from whipping up movie-worthy dishes in the kitchen to exploring Dune in video games. And I know JP Sebastian's going to be coming through because if there ever was a hype man needed today, we got you covered, Mzansi. The man is right here. And we're going to turn this movie upside down and we simply cannot wait. I know.
All I can say is sit back, relax. Moonchild, Sanelly, Honey Child is in the building. And it is going to be wild. Someone also that I feel is a bit left out today because I didn't say that I miss him. But you know that I miss you.
I've always missed you, brother.
You're my person too, G-Man. Good morning.
Oh, I'm so glad you're talking about me. I thought you were talking about someone else. Oh, I'm so happy. I love you guys. I love you guys at home. Cheers to you. Dune is coming out later today. That's amazing. To all of the insufferable Man United fans, well done on last night. It's going to be a spectacular day. We're going to have a lot of fun. And I imagine that Moonchild is going to blow the roof off this place. So stick around for some amazing performances. But we're going to have a little bit of fun with you. I want you to consider this morning. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Mine would be probably to like freeze time. So when I'm like really, really tired, I can just freeze time, sleep a little bit, catch up, and then time can start again and I'll be fine. No, I don't know. It's a tough one. Maybe flight, maybe extra strength, maybe you want to see through walls. Let us know on the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. Most creative answer wins the rest of the milk in this glass. No, that's not a real thing, but you'll get bragging rights this morning. We'd love to hear from you. In fact, stay connected with us throughout the entire show. That conversation is going to be running on all of our social media platforms, but we've got a busy show to get into, so let's sink our teeth right in. Let's start with those news headlines.
Thank you so much, G. And I'll start with those national news headlines first. The Department of Health says it will not roll out COVID-19 vaccinations at schools for now to avoid disruption to critical schooling. The department is adamant, though, that its decision to vaccinate children aged between 12 and 17 is within the law. According to the Children's Act, those who are older than 12 can get medical attention and treatment without the consent of a guardian. South Africa intends to vaccinate more than 3 million children in this age group by mid-January 2022. And then meanwhile, many teenagers yesterday visit the Swartskops racetrack in Centurion to be vaccinated against COVID-19. The first day, teenagers between the ages of 12 and 17 could receive the vaccine. A spokesperson, Yusuf Abramji, said more than 30 teenagers received the jab within the first 3 hours after the premises opened. Abramji says some of the children were a little nervous, but no adverse reactions were reported. He also said all the teenagers were accompanied by a guardian or parent. And then on the international front, Morocco has banned flights to and from the UK due to the coronavirus pandemic. Flights between Morocco and Germany and the Netherlands have also been suspended. Now, this comes as Morocco's weekly rate of reported coronavirus cases stands at 10.4 per 100,000 people, compared to 445.5 per 100,000 people in the UK. The UK has reported 40,000 plus new COVID-19 infections for the past 7 days in a row. The number of patients in hospitals was up by 10% in a week to almost 8,000. And then staying with those international news, Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered a one-week paid shutdown for Russian workers as COVID-19 cases and deaths rise. Now, in a record-breaking week, the country reported more than 1,000 deaths yesterday, along with some 34,000 new cases. About 47.5 million of Russians have fully been vaccinated, which amounts to only a third of the country's population. Putin approved the week of paid non-working days from October 30th to November the 7th, adding that the dates can be extended in certain areas if necessary. And then finally, some news of an organization that connects a world of excess to a world of need. In the last 18 months, Food Forward South Africa has distributed no less than 48 million meals to South Africans in need. 1/3 of all food produced in South Africa is dumped in landfills, while more than 14 million people go hungry every single day. Established in 2009 to address widespread hunger in South Africa, Food Forward South Africa connects a world of excess to a world of need by recovering quality edible surplus food from the consumer goods supply chain and distributing it to community organizations that serve the poor. More than 80% of the food recovered is nutritious, and the organization is currently supporting 1,250 beneficiary organizations, reaching 675,000 on a daily basis. Now, since the 1st of March 2021, it has distributed almost 5 million kilograms of food, which equates to more than 19 million meals. Food Forward South Africa is the largest food redistribution organization in South Africa, and we can't thank them enough for what they're doing on this platform. On that note, that is where I wrap your 6 o'clock news headlines. I will be back on the top of the hour. G is standing by with a first look at the sports.
Thank you so much, Jamie. We've tried to cast quite a wide gaze this morning, and let's start with some very positive news on the cricketing front for the Proteas, certainly. They capped off their preparations for the T20 World Cup with a very impressive 6-wicket win over a very spirited Pakistan yesterday. Temba Bavuma won the toss and elected to field first. Farkar Zaman led the charge for Pakistan with an unbeaten 52. Very much the difference in that innings as his team posted a competitive 186 for 6. Then Kagiso Rabada was the star with the ball, taking 3 for 28. In response, with the bat in hand, South Africa lost both Quinton de Kock and Aiden Markram for less than 10 runs. Then up stepped Rassie van der Dussen, the man of the moment, the 32-year-old, playing a sublime knock of 101. In fact, getting that century with a 4 off the last ball. And that was not out as South Africa secured another win ahead of their opening match of the tournament, and that's on Saturday. On to football. South Africa claimed a dominant 7-0 win over Mozambique in their first qualification match for the Africa Women's Cup of Nations. South Africa bounced back from their disappointing 4th place finish at the COSAFA Cup with an emphatic win in which Linda Motalo and Gabriela Salgado both scored 2 goals each. Melinda Khadiite and Janine van Wyk and Nokolo Cezanne also got their names on the score sheet. Mozambique will travel to South Africa next for the second leg of the qualifier, and that's next week, Tuesday. Then keeping it local and staying with football, Mamelodi Sundowns secured yet another win and clean sheet after beating Golden Arrows 1-0. So Sundowns have now won 6 of their first 7 matches in the league without conceding a single goal. What a message to send. Strong second half from the defending champions and a goal in the 58th minute from Gaston Sorino. They secured all 3 points. In the day's other match, we saw Orlando Pirates only managing a 0-0 draw against a 10-man Maritzburg United. While Brendan Theron was sent off in the 67th minute of that match, Pirates couldn't make the most of their man advantage in what was ultimately a frustrating outing for the Buccaneers. Then on to rugby news. US Rugby Chiefs formally launched a bid to stage the Men's Rugby World Cup either in 2027 or 2031, as well as the women's tournaments in 2029, utilizing NFL stadia across the country. So a total of 28 cities have expressed interest in staging World Cup games, with venues including recent Super Bowl hosts such as Levi Stadium in San Francisco and Miami's Hard Rock Stadium. Rugby has enjoyed steady growth in popularity in the United States in recent years, years with the launch of a professional league and test matches such as Ireland's 2016 victory over New Zealand. If you're wondering about how they feel about rugby players, go and check out Beast and Poirier's Instagram page to get a little taste. But that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's get our first take on the morning weather and see what those temperatures have in store.
Thank you so much, G. Now, to take a look at this weather this morning, of course, starting in South Africa, a weather service has, SA's Weather Service has issued a yellow level 2 warning for today for severe thunderstorms, resulting in localized flash flooding and short-term disruption to essential services over the western, central and southern parts of the Northern Cape, as well as the central and Little Karoo, Garden Route, Cape Town, Winelands, and the Overberg of the Western Cape. Now, heavy downpours of 20 to 30 millimeters, large amounts of small hail, and gusty winds can be expected. Now, the Weather Service also issued an orange level 5 warning for severe thunderstorms, resulting in flash flooding and damage to infrastructure for Lanesburg, Mossel Bay, Hesikwa, as well as Swellendam. Now, elsewhere in the central to eastern regions of the Western Cape and most of the Northern Cape, strong gusty winds and lightning over open areas can be expected. Now, starting off this morning again, we've got some incredible pictures from you, Mzansi, and we can't thank you enough, because obviously these are always putting such a smile on our face. And this morning we're starting with Maurice Conradi from Paul, who starts us off this morning with this absolutely pretty skyline with clouds scattered and stretching across the sky. And then Paul can expect 30% chance of rain in the area today with a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. And then we have Miranda Block, who captured this absolutely beautiful shot of the full moon reflecting over the Atlantic Ocean at 5 a.m. Let me tell you, Miranda, what an absolutely great shot. And again, thank you all so much for sending these pictures in. We love to see how you start your day, wherever you are in the world or the country, because we want to show it off with the rest of Mzansi. But now, to take a look at the temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane, there's a low of 13 and a high of 26 degrees. In Mbombela, your day starts at 15, moving up to 32. Pretoria starts the day at 16, moving up to 27. In Joburg, you've got a low of 15 and a high of 25 degrees. Mahikeng, a low of 14 and a high of 28. Klerksdorp, very similar, with a low of 15 and a high of 29. And Kimberley following suit very closely with a low of 14 and a high of 27 degrees. And Bloemfontein seems to be very similar with a low of 13 and a high of 27 degrees. And in Richards Bay, you can expect a low of 20 and moving up to a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. And then in Pietermaritzburg, the day starts at a minimum of 17, moving up to 33 degrees. Durban can expect a maximum of 26, starting the day at 19. And then in Mthatha, a day is starting at 14, moving up to 34 degrees with 5% chance of cloud cover. East London shows a minimum of 19, moving up to 27 degrees. In Cradock, though, you can expect thunder showers at 42% rain coming through, a minimum of 15 and a max of 31 degrees. In Gqeberha, no rain expected, but a low of 18 and a high of 25 degrees. In Georgia, low starts at 16, moving up to 24 degrees with 9% chance of cloud cover. In Cape Town, can expect cloud cover with partial rain expected, potentially a low of 15 and a high of 22 degrees. And then in Worcester, rain also expected at 30% with a low of 12 and a high of 30 degrees. And Sutherland, thunder showers can be expected, 65% chance coming through with a low of 7 and a high of 24 degrees. Uppington, last but not least, also thunder showers expected for you, 55% chance coming through with a low of 13 and a high of 24. That's a look at the weather this morning. We'll see you in the next hour to update you, but find out from the rest of the team what's happening in the show and what magic we can expect to see.
Oh, the magic is going to be happening because, again, I just want to hype it up. Moonchild Sanelly is in the building, everybody. I've never been more excited to see her because
She's
she
awesome.
is a vibe.
Well, she is a vibe. She brings a vibe. She's here to perform for us. We're going to catch up with her in just a moment because I'm sure she's been up to a lot, like appearing on certain superstars' videos and just doing amazing things. No, she is absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, June is releasing. We're going a little June crazy. We're also going to get a bit of a techie turn in just a moment. Grant Hines is standing by for that, so you better stick around.
Only you can make my day.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. Yes, you might have picked up that I'm a little extra excited this morning. I know I'm always excited, but this morning is a very, very special day. Why? Because when we last chatted with the superstar performer for our morning this morning, it was over video call, and it was back in February during crazy times, and we missed her so much, but it feels like the longest time since we last actually hosted this worldwide Mzansi powerhouse musician, human being, and just amazing woman, Moonchild Sanelly, in studio back in 2019. Well, since then, she has, I think, charted a path to global domination, having featured in Beyonce's Black is King visual album, which was amazing, signing a deal with a UK record label as well, and of course, just being generally awesome on social media and reality TV. But let's give you a little taste of her latest single. Here is Demon.
She be pushing buttons. When you come, you don't ask and start defending. When you tell her no ban, go bad. This thing, me now I am ending. She's a heifer, a demon. A heifer, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a heifer, a demon. A heifer, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a heifer, a demon. A heifer, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a heifer, a demon.
She is so naughty, she is all class, and she is here this morning. Moonchild Sanelly is It's so good to see you in person.
It's so good to be. Like, I'm happy to be back, child. Because, like, whoa. Like, virtual is not popping that much now. It's like, let's get to it.
I mean, thank goodness we've had that, and we've been able to stay connected, especially for us with the musicians that we love, because we know it's been tough. It has been a difficult 18 months. How are you? How are you doing in this crazy world?
I'm awesome. Do you know, like, the crazy thing is, like, I remember during lockdown, I'd have to find a way of being sad about the world stopping. But the thing about it, I literally locked down the deal of my life, what I worked for all these years. And it was like, well, it stopped for some of us, because I was doing my international virtual stuff where you're getting half the check, which is already more than the South African check. So that's good. I literally was clocking in everything that I've ever fought for, getting like the team that I want without being changed or questioned for what I stand for. So when locked, my world just went 360.
How? What was the tipping point to get you to that? Was there a moment? Was there a meeting? Was there a person? Can you only look back and say, okay, it was just a persistence over those 6 years? What made the difference?
It's literally been the persistence over the, 14 years, and doing stuff independently and doing killer stuff independently, like Beyonce independently, Diplo independently, Gorillaz independently. So by the time a label is jumping on, they want to be a part of this train, because I know I'm this moving train, period. Whether you're on board or not, I'm rocking. So, and if you don't get it, it's fine, I still rock it.
It's fine.
So I just found the best team ever, where I'm still in charge of my image, my music. I basically just write down my dream team and not just wait on the universe now. I write it to the label to go and seek the people I want in my album. It's basically crazy. I'm about to experience, with this project that's coming out, I'm about to experience having help. If I've shut stuff down on my own, please imagine I'm about to go get my grab.
And not just help some of the best in the biz, like literally surrounded by the best in the industry.
You are killing it on every single platform. I mean, we are so inspired by what you're doing on the international front. Sad Night Dynamite, oh my word, international. Great duo, giving us Demon. Tell us how that collab actually happened, how that magic actually came about.
So with that one, for my album, there's a lot of producers that pitched from the UK as well, and my label sent to me. So now they sent me so many songs, but there was this literally like, it was a loop. It was a short 16 bar. And I was like, wait, hold up. That reminds me of the stuff that I used to do with Maramza, which is the future ghetto funk, and reminds me of a lot of quiet dope and electronic. So it felt like home. I was like, this is easy for me. I'm writing a quiet song.
I made this
style
of music.
So I was just like, loop that. Let's make it into a beat. I created the song because I had someone who was meddling in my relationship. They were given the license by their friend, obviously. And I was like, we're cutting this rubbish. I'm not dealing with this heifer. She's a demon, and I am not dealing. So it made sense. Literally. And so it's like, it's a diary of such a sad experience, but it's like a good-ass check, because I just signed it to FIFA. So
I wanted to ask you, like,
secured.
did that matter to you? Yes, the money's great, but it's FIFA. I mean, it's FIFA, come on, that's massive.
I know.
Is that a thing for you, or you're like,
No, can I tell you the honest truth?
Yeah.
I kind of like live in this box as well. I think one of the reasons I don't change is because I just achieve these things and I'm just myself. Because like, I think I understood the magnitude when I saw on Twitter. But I'd been working on this deal for like a year. And so I just heard about it. I knew AE was involved. They wanted something from me. I knew that. And I said it to someone who was a gamer once. Obviously my partner. And then after that, I forgot about it. I just kept writing, doing what I do. And then the next thing it was like, you got it. I was like, oh, yay. And then when I go FIFA 22, and I'm like, 8 billion people?
Yeah, it's the biggest
What?
game ever.
Whoa.
It's the biggest game ever in the history of the world. Now, all you need is a live performance in Fortnite. That's all. I think then you've done it all. Once
Write
you've
it
done
down,
a
manifest
virtual
it.
performance.
It's gonna come.
coming.
Oh, no,
No, everything is
I have no
coming.
doubt that
Where's
it
Fortnite?
will come. It's exactly. The crazy thing is, despite all of this, I have a feeling you're only really getting started. This has unlocked the next phase of your career, which is going to just blow the roof off. We are so happy to have you here. You look amazing. You look so happy, which makes us so happy. And of course, she's going to be performing just for you. Yes, she is naughty. Yes, she is cheeky. But she is all ours for just 3 hours this morning, and we're going to make the most of that time.
Yes, Moonchild, Sanelly still in the building, and I don't think you realize how big that actually is, being involved in the FIFA 2022 title that's coming up right now. And we get to chat about it with our resident, Grant Hines, in the building, so it's time for some footy action. And we're joined by the man himself. He's going to be talking about the game right now. There's so much to talk about. Grant Hines, how are you doing this morning?
You know, that is such a cool story, and one of my favorite parts about it is just how impactful video games is as an entertainment medium, and then how we can contribute as South Africans to this larger thing, and how it can help us.
Oh,
you know?
so true. So
you know,
true,
what
man.
What a cool story.
And I'm sitting here because I get nostalgic by all the FIFA soundtracks that I literally listened to from like 2011 onwards. I'm proud to have this powerhouse involved in such a big franchise. It's a beloved franchise amongst so many South Africans and the world. But let's talk about what's happening in the latest FIFA. Grant, what's up, man?
Yeah, so I'm busy playing a little bit of FIFA right now, 22, and there's been a whole bunch of changes that have been added to the game. The first one, actually is probably the biggest change, it's called something called hyper motion. What they've done is they have captured, so which means motion captured, all the players on the field at the same time. So let me just return to this match for you a little bit. So everybody around the field that is reacting to the ball, every player on the team has been motion captured so that you can see just even the responses. It just gives you another layer of realism. As you can see, the players looking around at the back at other players just to see who to mark, and they've got nothing to do with where we're at. Which is really wild. And then to make the realism a little bit more, they've included something with ball physics, just a whole bunch of more realistic ball physics. Wow, here we go. Let's see if we got...
Hang on. Oh,
you know, I
almost
had
got
to
it
give
on
it a
live
go.
TV. I must say, Grant, though, it's really cool to see just the off-field play, because often you'd see like players kind of just standing there waiting, and they seem very robotic. So it's already, just by looking at it, I haven't played the game, but it looks like I'm watching more of an actual live soccer game. I don't know if you're getting that feeling as well while you're playing it, but it really does give that authenticity, eh?
It does, and because the animation is a little bit more realistic, it might feel a little bit slower, but it actually makes a lot more sense because we are very familiar with how the pace of a football game goes. So that is like the true ball physics. The other thing that a lot of like FIFA heads probably had a problem with was the goalkeepers from the previous ones. The goalkeepers were
just lack of being an actual goalkeeper, yeah.
So, you know, you just be able to run through them pretty easily. So they've improved the goalkeepers' artificial intelligence, so their AI. And then, I'm really bad at FIFA, everybody.
So does that mean that the keeper is harder to beat? Is it harder to get the ball past him and in the back of the net?
Yes, he makes more intelligent decisions, more realistic decisions. I think when you play FIFA, you find ways to exploit the keepers. So you go like, I've got a trick. You know, you always got a friend who's got like a trick to overcome the keeper. And now it's a lot more harder to do that because they will respond in a way that is more authentic to football. Here we go. Oh, I was offside.
Oh.
But as you can see, they've got renewed the graphics. The graphics look incredible. Wow, that was
tight. That was tight,
offside.
Man. I don't know about that. We should question that the VAR decision. But look, man, with titles like NBA2K that are out, I mean, FIFA, like we spoke about now, is one of the biggest games in the world. What do you think it is that kind of makes it so popular and keeps people coming back for more and more and more?
I'm glad you're asking this question because there are a couple of things that really are changing in the industry. So there's a rumor going around right now that EA might lose the FIFA license.
Whoa.
Which,
EA
that is
Sports. What do you mean? That's huge. What?
And if they lose the FIFA license, this might be the last FIFA game that is called FIFA. It's rumored it's something at like $8 billion they want the license for. So what they get with the license is obviously the different player names. And I think that's what people want. They want to play as their favorite footballers. They want to play as their favorite teams. So whether it becomes EA football next year is going to be another question. But yeah, I think that's what makes EA or FIFA such a compelling game. Let's see. And then also the ability to play with your friends, you know, be able to like kick back on a Saturday. It's the game that you buy so that when your friends come around to hang out, everybody can grab a controller and have an idea of how to play.
Yeah,
it's actually quite a good thing that it doesn't change dramatically, or at least too much. And let's see if we got what it takes to score this goal.
Okay,
You know,
look,
it's the game that gets me so intense all the time.
Clearly, it's a good one, and clearly this edition is nothing of a disappointment because it's distracting Grant Irons like you cannot believe. And I think everybody's going to be looking forward to this one. It has a lot of the nostalgic moments that we love and come back to with FIFA, and I think this one's going to be putting a lot of smiles on our face. Whether it changes titles or not, we'll have to see. But stay with us because we are going to be discussing more games and past games for Dune, the big movie of the day, in just a bit. We'll see you soon.
Only you can make my day.
Link, am I doing a link to Sting or just going straight into it?
for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Elite quality, elite taste, elite texture.
Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover. Indeed. Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show on S3. It is Thursday. And if tonight is a movie night at home and you are looking for some crafty snacks, you might want to try our Clover cheese tater tots and make a big batch, because thanks to the elite taste of Clover cheese, these more-ish morsels will be gone in a flash. And who better than our young kid at heart, Miss Michaela, to make this us. And G said we mustn't say tater tots, we have to say tater tarts.
Tater tots.
Tater tarts. So we're going to say tater tarts for this one. I don't know why, but he gave us strict instructions to say tater tarts.
Tater
in an
tarts.
accent. Yeah.
It's because they're very American, that's why.
Okay, got
They're
it.
not really a South African vibe, but we can make it one.
I love it.
I love potatoes.
I love potatoes. I love cheese.
I love
it all
potatoes.
together, so
That's all.
This is a snack.
So this is basically just some boiled potatoes that we've taken. We've mashed them, and then you strain them in a tea towel just to remove any excess water. Then you add your garlic spice, a lot of it. Mixed
I have been
herbs.
loving garlic powder. I put garlic powder in everything. Like if I make an egg, garlic powder. So it's garlic powder, salt, pepper. What was the other thing?
Mixed spice.
Mixed spice, yes.
And then some flour to bind.
Got it.
Lots of cheese.
Look at you, just like shamelessly putting everything in there. We
That's
love it.
exactly
We love
what it
We
is.
want that elite taste of the cheese to be in there, so get it,
Then
girl.
you literally just mix that all together. Luca would love these. Don't you think you should make him some?
Or Auntie Michaela can make it for him.
I'll
and I
make
could
it
just
for
take
him.
it home.
Can
for
I
him.
babysit?
Oh, I don't trust you with it, but
What
maybe I can
the-
tell you
the
guys
best
about the
babysitter.
5-step crafting process, which consists of the finest milk selection, of course, complete pasteurization for quality, and then also curd crafting for the texture that we also love in this tater tarts, precise maturation for taste, and then clean packing for protection. So it is that 5-step that gives you that elite cheese, which is superior in quality, taste, and texture. We love to see it. Now, this recipe turns the humble spud into something delicious, and I see that you are not waiting for the oil to be hot.
I mean,
Is that
it's been sitting on for the past like 10 minutes and it's still like is not hot enough. But when you
You're
do
still
this
on.
at home, you'd hope that your oil is super boiling hot and then they just like sizzle.
And you want me to let you look after Luca, but you can't even look after your tater tots. Girl, honey, child, no.
Are you coming for me today?
I'm not coming for you. I'm just saying, these are the facts. I need you to be able to feed my child. And at the moment, you
Hello,
are not being
I can
able
do that. I can take care of your kid as well. He'd love me because I'm good with kids.
You're
I
good
think.
with kids. And South Africa, I don't know if you know this, but Michaela's actually a trained ballet dancer.
Why do you have to bring that up?
So, because you can be entertainment for Luca's party
That's
now.
true.
So now,
Okay.
you'll be the entertainment.
We
I
have to
invite you.
bust some gender stereotypes there and just make Luca do ballet classes with me.
That is, as long as you can feed him. So
Okay.
are we getting into the recipe so that you can feed him?
And then, once this has happened, you form them into little, like, what do you call those? Barrels. Do you call them barrels?
Bolletjies?
Yeah. And then you put them in the freezer, allow them to just harden.
Okay.
Coat them in a little bit of flour, so dredge them, and then fry them in hot oil, which that is not.
Key, yeah, hot oil, which we don't have, of course. Would I need to put it?
What's happening?
It's coming. It's
happening.
eventually at the end of the show we will let you know what it looks like. But luckily for us, our kitchen fairies showed us exactly what it looks like. Those are those beautiful tater tarts that we made, and of course that recipe is available on our website expressoshow.com. Michaela's going to finish this. I'm not going to let her look after Luca, but it's time now to be inspired with some kiddies clothing just for them.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, thankfully, bright summer days are here, and it's time for the kids to enjoy the beauty that summertime holds. Now, fashion and beauty editor and good friend Knox Marfu is here to take us through some of her top picks when it comes to fashion for the younger generation. I'm putting a little proviso here. I'm a cry risk. I'm missing my daughter so much, and when I see the level of cuteness that is on that rail, it is just, it's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much to take.
I mean, literally, you can see like these dresses are every little girl's dream.
It's summer.
It's summer. It's fun. It's like really playful. So really, if you do need it like a tear, I'm here for you.
Thank
because
you.
Honestly, like
it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. So what's jumping off the rail for you? What's really got you excited?
So what I love about these dresses, as you said, they're bright, they're bold hues, which is really exciting. We're really seeing a lot of the sleeveless design there, obviously for summer days.
For sure.
But what I love is that they are such great prints. They're available in tie-dye, from animal prints to really great graphic tees, which are really, really exciting. And obviously, you know, the joy about these dresses is that you can pair them with dresses, with hats, obviously, and nice bags. They're such great pieces to accessorize with also.
Yeah, and exactly. And you just throw in a couple, if they're going all action, a pair of tights, and they're ready to rock and roll.
They're ready to rock, yes.
But they also look good and feel good. And don't think for a second that your little ones don't enjoy looking good.
Absolutely. You know, yesterday when I was at the store, I saw this little girl with her mom literally like making choices from the dresses. And I think it's so empowering to give the kids like an ability to choose these great dresses. And I mean, the trends are out of this world. So it really is a great time to get the best out of these fashion items.
Yeah, completely. Comfortability, durability, and of course they pop with the color, and it allows your little one to express their personality as well. I think we have a gorgeous model who is brimming at the seams, ready to show us one of these amazing outfits and just how beautiful it translates onto the runway. Matle. Beautiful.
So literally, she's wearing one of my favorite dresses at the moment. Bold, you know, tropical prints, which I think are really great. We've spoken about them in men's fashion and in women's fashion. I think the kids are having their time too. It's a beautiful tiered dress also there. So really, really fun in terms of giving her a little bit of a fun, flirty element.
Bit of movement,
Yeah, which is really great. And then we've paired that with a lovely bag and some gel shoes, which are also super fun and comfortable. But what I love about these is that also because it's made of 100% cotton, it's really soft on their skin, you know. So it's
I was
really
going to ask her, because here the fabric is beautiful. I love the feel of it, the comfortability. Why is it so important, especially with kids, to focus on the fabric?
I think obviously their skin is much more sensitive, right? And they're going to spend their times outside, they're growing. So really, Woolworths really focuses now on making sure that they used combed cotton. And that's just an extra process of making sure that obviously it's durable and it really lasts, but also that it's great on their skin, they're comfortable, and also so that you're not buying these dresses every season. They last, and also the color concentration is also really good on these dresses. And
if I have to be honest, generally we'll go through like 2 or 3 a day, because that's just how it, especially with the toddler sizes.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing here is all of these dresses available for $89.95 each. Is that a mistake?
No, it's not.
Is that a typo?
That's what I love about it, dear, right? So for W Rewards members, they can get 2 of these dresses for $89.95. I mean, like, for me, that's a steal, you know? So really, like, when I said to you I was at the store, like, moms were just having the best time, and the kids are like, I want this one, and this one, and this one. Because there's so many choices to go from, this is literally just a fraction
of that price, I would invest in next summer. Literally, get 2 sizes with every dress.
Yes, I think for parents, this is a good time for them.
It's a good time for parents, and it's a great time for the little ones. Knox, absolutely beautiful. My heart is about to burst at the moment. It's all about making the difference. You can shop these stunning younger dresses for girls at Woolworths. Plus, as Knox has just pointed out, if you are a rewards member, you get 2 dresses for younger girls for only $89.95 each. Under 90 Rand for one of these pieces. The quality, that is crazy. And you can shop these incredible, adorable deals at Woolworths, and it's available in-store, online, or you can use their amazing app, and I suggest you go and check it out.
A promise to the planet to be gentle and treat nature with kindness. So there's always trees to climb, to plant the seeds for a better future. Woolworths, the difference.
Welcome
Yes.
back, everybody. Yes, it is your Feel Good Breakfast Show here on S3.
It is indeed, and I'm so excited because we're talking about something really cool right now. This is probably like the first time I've known this to be real. I've always fighted with my parents saying, that's a real word, that's a real word, but we get to find out exactly what's real, what's not, and what makes us South African. Now, local is liquor is a term South Africans are very familiar with and one that couldn't ring truer for what we are about to tell you next, right?
Yeah. Today, over 80 years since its inception, Scrabble is launching a South African version, and we are so excited to share this with you this morning. We are joined by Angelica Kansota, brand manager of Scrabble South Africa, to find out how our favorite board game has become so quiet as we show off how lekker it is to use local words that resonate with our South African culture. And she is on the line right now. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
Morning. Fine, how are you?
Oh, we are so good,
We
so
are lekker.
excited.
We are
Really
lekker.
yeah. I'm jits. Now listen, Scrabble has been around for what, like over 80 years, but what was the inspiration behind Scrabble South Africa? Like, talk to me about this, because I'm loving this concept already, but I don't know everything about it yet.
We wanted to celebrate what makes us uniquely South African, a unique way of reminding South Africans of all the local words that make us such a magnificent nation. We also used a South African illustrator to design the pack, Toby Newson. We loved how his work brought to life all the beautiful elements of South Africa in terms of Table Mountain, the protea flower, the people, our rainbow nation, and how he made it stand out in the pack itself.
This is big, this is unique, this is going to bring families together. No longer will they be fighting over which words to use, but what kind of local words are in the game and how many of them can Scrabble players expect to be introduced to?
There are over 150 new words that have been added to the game. The game will let people use words like vuvuzela, ayoba, braai, just to name a few. So the rulebook is included in the pack, so people are able to see which words are allowed now, and also learn a few new words and the meaning behind them.
Clearly you can see Raul is already getting ahead of himself. What are you saying?
I'm good. I'm
yes
almost
is
there,
a word.
almost there.
You do
We're
know
gonna
yes
get there.
is a word, eh?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. You see what you did? You see what you did right now? We're already starting a new trend with Raul.
Well, maybe you can tell us more about the word selection for the South African version. How do you go about choosing these local words for games? Are there some that don't exist yet? Is there sort of like an index or something that we can refer to say that, yes, that's definitely a South African word? How does it all work?
So the rulebook isn't included into the pack, so you're able to see all the words that are now added to the game. But we did do a lot of research to see what are the words that our South African consumers and players would like to see in the game, and try to add those as well. We wanted to be representative in the game to make sure we covered a lot of languages, as well as common South African slang words like akse. So now players are able to get points by using words like kwai and lekker.
I love that for you. I love that for us. I am even seeing on screen now, it's ya know hey. You know, ya know hey?
ya
When you
know
say
hey.
ya know hey, that is definitely one. Boom slang, ah yeah yeah, ah yeah yeah. This is going to be next level for the next game night. But what kind of impact do you think this local version of Scrabble will have on South African communities, and also why you think this will just take us by storm?
I believe it will bring people together. Everyone will be able to relate to a word that they either use or have you heard of, and it will amplify the fun as you try and build these words within the game. But mainly it will bring everyone a piece of their community within the game, which I think will be really nice and seeing their culture coming through.
You spell Tani. How do you spell Tani?
Raul is really asking me how to spell Tani. I mean, already failed. Clearly, he's not going to be on my team because there's no need. But that's a great way.
That's so awesome. I can't thank you enough for bringing this to life, because I can see so many South Africans having so much fun with this now. Whether you're playing with your or Tani, clearly I didn't spell that correctly. I think I'm missing another N. Or wondering how you're going to spell out Chomi or Dololo. It's all part of the fun. Clearly it's already started right now, and I'm having the best of fun right now as well, right?
Scrabble South Africa is here. Games night just got a whole lot better, and we can't thank you enough for joining us and sharing all this magic, because clearly, as you can see, it's time to select the right people on your team. Maybe I don't have, but maybe next time you come to Cape Town, we'll connect with you. You'll be on my team, okay?
Perfect.
Yay!
Get this, Jamie. That's not all that there is, right? We've got a competition happening, right? And it's for the following: 3 lucky viewers stand a chance to win a Scrabble South Africa board game each. And to enter, all you have to do is tell us what local word you're looking forward to seeing on Scrabble South Africa's board and why. Now, remember to include the hashtag ScrabbleSA to enter. And your T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. And the competition will run until Monday, the 25th of October, 2021, midnight. All right. Ready?
And even then, you still stun me.
I just needed something for in. I was like, it's such a good word. I don't want to lose it.
Epic fail. I'm choosing G. G's my person.
G. Oh, okay, cool. My comeback's gonna be real. Just watch this. I'm really gonna get a word in now.
What is that?
Boom. Dead. Done. What's next?
Anyone can say that.
Yesterday. Come on, Raul. You got this.
Do something local. Do something
Write the
local.
word yesterday. I'm going to be mind blown.
You're so close.
Failing.
Easter. That's a word.
Yay! And then Mr. Mystery. Give me a Y. Failing. Failing dismally. Yeah, failing dismally. Try again.
No. Go.
Try. What are you doing?
It's actually harder than it looks.
It is.
Eh?
No one's.
Take. What do you got there? I'm taking that away. Easter. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Kwai. How do you spell kwai? Well done. That was lekker. Absolutely cool. You know what else is lekker? She is proving it on the show at the moment. Jamie's DIY skills are off the charts. Now, fancy yourself an artist? Well, why not try this really cool pendulum canvas art at home? Jamie is going to show us exactly how it's done.
We all love a little art in the house, especially when we get to call ourselves the artists. And today we're getting a little bit creative with Plascon and creating a pendulum canvas for the home. To get started, this is what you're going to need. A beautiful big canvas, of course, some string, some painter's tape, a drop cloth to protect the surface so you don't get any mess on the floor, a drill or a screwdriver to punch the hole into your paints, and then finally your paint colors of choice. Let's get started. Okay, first things first, you're going to lay down your drop cloth. Then place down your canvas in the center of the cloth. Now here we have already painted ours charcoal instead of just white to create the look that we're going for. You can paint your base any color or just leave it white. That is totally up to you. Then we're going to tie a piece of string to a raised bar. Tie your paint to your string and clip it to the suspenders. Make sure everything is tight and secured and your paint is suspended about a ½ meter from the canvas. Lastly, you want to punch a small hole at the bottom of the paint using a small screwdriver or drill. Now you don't want to create a large hole as it will not create the fine lines that you want to go for. And just before you swing your paint, remove the tape and then swing. Just let it swing for a few minutes or once you're happy with the amount of paint. Then it's time to change the paint for your next color and carry on until you have used your 4 different colors. Voila, and there you have it, your very own pendulum canvas for the home.
Wow.
Here's the thing, I'm going to need you guys to put respect on my name. I'm an artist. I'm adding that to my bio now because...
When
did
you
see
say it in
that?
the tracksuit, it's quite intimidating. When you're like, put respect on my name, yo. No, you deserve it. That's absolutely beautiful. I can't believe you made that all by yourself.
Thanks to Plascon, I've been doing all this DIY things. I honestly have been having so much fun at this, and this is now in my home.
What are your rates per hour?
You can't afford me.
I'm going to start saving up in just a moment. She's going to have us bouncing off the walls. Moonchild Sanelly is here to perform in just a moment. Start warming up. We'll see you now. I don't know if I always used to dream of winning the lotto, but now I do, because since Lottoland has come into our little family, I've been thinking about it a lot. You know, putting down a deposit on a house, or maybe buying all the houses on your entire block. It is all actually possible now, courtesy of Lottoland.
Yeah, it is indeed. Now, of course, you can become a billionaire. Yes,
billionaire.
Not a millionaire, a billionaire. It's 1.7 billion that's up for grabs, and it's taking place in the latest Super Inner Lotto, which is being drawn tonight at 8 p.m, right, G? And all you got to do to enter, it's pretty simple. You can visit lottoland.co.za. All the information is there, and you could literally become a billionaire. It's as simple as that.
Yep, basically Lottoland, while you can't enter other countries' lottos, you can bet on the outcomes of those, and that's what they do, and hence why they've got such massive payouts, is because you're betting on the US, on euro-based, or pound-based, or dollar-based.
I'm just thinking of 1.7 billion, like,
I know, and this is happening every single day. We had Marika from Lottoland in the studio yesterday, and she gets to phone the people to let them know. Can you imagine how that phone call goes? Just crazy, man. But it's vitally important that you know that we approach this with responsibility, and Lottoland South Africa is a licensed bookmaker with the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board, and of course we stress no persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble in any way or form. Winners know when to stop, and if you need help, the National Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line is 0800 006 008, or you can just WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
While G and I think of what we're going to be doing with our billions, you guys can catch up with Jamie Lee Dumbo.
Definitely buy an elephant, eh? A couple of elephants.
Well, the time now is 2 minutes before 7 o'clock. Time to have another look at those news headlines. Starting with those national news, the University of the Free State's Pharmacology Department plans to create South Africa's most advanced pharmacology good laboratory practices accredited research and development laboratory after receiving an 58 million rand grant. Pharmacology Director Professor Motlapula Matsabisa has received a Department of Science and Innovation high-end infrastructure grant to build the lab. The lab will be a Centre of Excellence for Government, the World Health Organization, and the African Union's Commission for Social Development. And then the Department of Health says it will not roll out COVID-19 vaccinations at schools for now to avoid disruption to critical schooling. The department is adamant, though, that its decision to vaccinate children aged between 12 and 17 is within the law. According to the Children's Act, those who are older than 12 can get medical attention and treatment without the consent of a guardian. South Africa intends to vaccinate more than 3 million children in this age group by mid-January 2022. And then on the international front, imprisoned Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was yesterday awarded the European Union's top human rights prize for his efforts to shine a light on corruption under Russian President Vladimir Putin. The award, the Sakharov Prize for Freedom of Thought, is named after the Soviet dissident Andrei Sakharov. Past recipients of the prize include the late President Nelson Mandela and Pakistani activist Malala Yousafzai. As he's in prison already, Navalny is unlikely to be able to receive the $59,000 prize in person at the award ceremony in Strasbourg, Germany in mid-December. And then staying with the international news, Morocco has banned flights to and from the UK, and this is due to the coronavirus pandemic. Flights between Morocco and Germany and the Netherlands have also been suspended. Now, this comes as Morocco's weekly rate of reported coronavirus cases stands at 10.4 per 100,000 people, compared to 445.5 per 100,000 people in the UK. The UK has reported 40,000 plus new COVID-19 infections for the past 7 days in a row. The number of patients in hospitals was up by 10% in a week to almost 8,000. And then next, he was a boxing icon, a 3-time world champion, and he could sketch too. Well, maybe some of the younger generations don't know much about him, but in the 60s and 70s, he was revered by millions all over the world. Muhammad Ali, rated by many critics as the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time, was an absolute icon. He was voted the athlete of the 20th century and regained the world heavyweight boxing title an unparalleled 3 times. Of late, it has come to light that he's also loved the arts. A rare collection of his art and sketches, 24 pieces in all, have been auctioned in New York, and collectors and adoring fans have paid $40,000 to $60,000 for them. Ali liked to sketch after fights and was also famous for his quips such as, "I'm fast, I'm young, I'm handsome, I can't be beaten, I'm the greatest, and the only way anyone can ever lick me is if they make a postage stamp of me. And then, of course, his immortal one, I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. On that note, that is where I wrap up your 7 o'clock news headlines. I will be back on the top of the hour. Raul Demone is standing by with another look at the weather.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Now to take a look at the weather this morning, and international fronts have the following to report. Russia's President Vladimir Putin will not attend the COP26 climate summit in Glasgow, Scotland. Now the Kremlin said this yesterday. Now the COP26 takes place in Scotland's largest city from the 31st of October to the 12th of November. But now no reason was given for the decision not to attend, but a Kremlin spokesperson said climate change was an important priority for Russia. Now Putin will take part remotely, but the no-show by the leader of the world's 4th biggest emitter of greenhouse gases is seen as the latest setback in the push for major powers to support more radical plans to tackle global warming. Now, Putin had previously said he would take part, but now said the coronavirus pandemic would be a factor in his decision to travel. Now, meanwhile, more than 120 leaders have confirmed their attendance. And now from climate news, we move to sunrise views shared on the Expresso Facebook page by you beautiful souls. Now, regular contributor Nick Lombard has exchanged his usual views of the dry Northern Cape for some coastal views in KZN. And what a stunning shot taken from Virginia Beach as the sun peaks over the horizon. Oh, we absolutely love it. And then Zamo Zaku shared this silhouetted photo taken just at the skies begin to transition from darkness to light. I mean, can you not be excited and entertained by that? It looks absolutely majestic. You can't thank you enough for sending these pictures through, and you can clearly see how much we love it. I can never stop smiling when I see it, and thank you so much, Mzansi. Now to take a look at the rest of the temperatures across the country. Starting off in Polokwane, your low is 13, moving up to a high of 26. Mobela starts the day on 15, moving up to 32 degrees Celsius. In Pretoria, your day starts at 16, moving up to 27 degrees. In Johannesburg, you've got a low of 15 and a high of 25 degrees. In Mahikeng, your day starts at 14, moving up to 28 degrees. Klerksdorp has a minimum of 15, moving up to 29 degrees. Kimberley starts the day at 14, moving up to 27. In Bloemfontein, your day starts at 13, moving up to 27 degrees. Richards Bay starts the day at 20, moving up to 30 degrees Celsius. And in Pietermaritzburg, your day starts at 17, moving up to a nice scorcher at 33 degrees Celsius. Durban, very similar conditions. 19 is your low with a high of 26 degrees. Mthatha starts the day at 14, moving up to 34 degrees Celsius. And then in East London, your day starts at 19, moving up to 27 is your max. In Cradock, thunder showers can be expected at 42%. 15 is your low, moving up to 31 degrees. Mabega starts the day at 18, moving up to 25 degrees. And then in George, very similar conditions, a low of 16 and a high of 24 degrees. And then moving to Cape Town, your day starts at 15, moving up to 22 degrees, 25% chance of cloud cover in the sky. In Worcester, rain can be expected at 30% chance, a low of 12 and a high of 30 degrees. In Sutherland, you can expect thunder showers at 65%, a low of 7 and a high of 24. In Uppington, much the same with a low of 13, a high of 24, and 55% chance of thunder showers. Now, we promised you a superstar, and we have delivered, and G's here to serve us with some more of it. Let's find out what's happening.
Yep, it may well be the morning of your life as we are joined in studio after the longest wait by the powerful and electrifying presence that is Moonchild Sanelly, and she is kicking off her performances just for you this morning with her 2021 hit single, Yebo Teacher.
Good morning, class. Yebo teacher. Take out your book. Okay, teacher. Nyanzil homework. Yebo teacher. Today it's due. Okay, teacher. Wednesday. Yebo teacher. Itembile. Okay, teacher. Teddy now. Yebo teacher. Keep up. Okay, teacher. Good morning, class. Teacher. Take out your book. Okay, teacher. Nyanzil homework. Yebo teacher. Today it's due. Okay, teacher. Wednesday. Yebo teacher. Itembile. Okay, teacher. Teddy now. Yebo teacher. Keep up. Okay, teacher. Hey, you call it back. Hey, when again. Hey, when again now. You call it back. Hey, when again. yebo teacher. Take out your books, okay teacher. Nenzil homework, yebo teacher. Today it's due, okay teacher. Wednesday, yebo teacher. Ditembile, okay teacher. Teddy nawe, yebo teacher. Kiba, okay teacher. Good morning class, yebo teacher. Take out your books, okay teacher. Nenzil homework, yebo teacher. Today it's due, okay teacher. Wednesday, yebo teacher. Ditembile, okay teacher. Teddy nawe, yebo teacher. Kiba, okay teacher.
Taste that says you've arrived. Uyingakara. Living a life of illusion, leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso as we delve into the lore that is Dune, probably the biggest movie release of this year, or in my mind, any year. Really, Dune has been remade into a masterpiece, according to our man, JP Sebastian. But we're going to set the scene now, and I'm going to ask you the impossible, okay?
Yes.
To literally go through and create the world of Dune for us so that people can fully understand, because there is gravitas here.
Everyone, please, by the way, pay attention. There's going to be a competition afterwards. Something I might mention might help you win some prizes once we're done.
Let's see if his tone gives it away, and we've got some amazing prizes to give away, especially if you are a Dune freak like myself. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, the beginning of it all.
Of time.
Of time itself.
So this is just a primer for South Africans who might be interested in seeing this movie when it comes out tomorrow.
Read the book.
If you are like Graham and you've read the book, this will just tickle the memory bars and the nostalgia and all that kind of stuff. So I have to say, what is Dune? Why care? Dune came out, by the way, before Star Wars, so a lot of this will sound similar, but Frank Herbert's Dune is 1965. Star Wars is a tiny space rock. The size is no bigger than a cheeseburger floating through space aimlessly. Dune is gigantic. I like Star Wars, but it's child's play.
Yeah.
So let's begin. Dune is set 20,000 years from now. Difficult enough. To give you a sense of the scope of why that matters, even computers are banned in Dune. Why? Because we already went to war with the AI, like in The Matrix, etc., etc. So, memory balls, here it comes, Graham. Within that universe, humans have become colonizers of planetary systems all over the universe. Never mind the galaxy, Milky Way is child's play again. Specifically, the story plays out on the planet of Arrakis. It is a desert planet with strategic importance to the entire universe. I'll tell you about the resource on there in a second. But this is where the entire movie plays out, in the inhospitable, forbidding land of Arrakis that has its own secrets and people that we'll get into too. Next section, Graham.
All right, so let's talk politics, power, people, wealth, belief.
And the first one is the Emperor. We have an Emperor of the planet. So sadly, the way the world is going, we're going to have, the Bezos family with their own spaceships, the Bransons, etc., etc. The Punisher Emperor is the guy who moves all the chess pieces between what is a feudal system, very much like, knights and kings and lords and that type of thing. So he's the guy who makes all the decisions, and he first decides. It is, in the next section that I'm going on to, the House of Atreides, which our hero, Paul Atreides, is a member of the royal family of Atreides, that is sent to take care and be custodian of the planet of Arrakis.
Which is quite a thing.
Yes. And then aside from them, who are, they seem noble at the surface, they seem like they want to do good, they seem like they want to work well with the people who already live on Arrakis, there's the House Harkonnen, another royal family, and they are the evil dudes for it.
They are the baddies.
Yes, not ideal guys.
Who are the Sardaukar?
Oh yes, must come back to that, by the way. Sorry if I troubled our director there in that direction. That is just the Emperor's elite army, that he makes these decisions and he's got that power behind his back. They're sort of like
hardcore.
The samurai, they're sort of like the special forces, and they can, if any of these families step out of line, these royal families, then they will bring the knife down, bring the hammer down.
Taste it.
And then moving on from the royal families, there are people outside of the pyramid of power. They are what is referred to as the Bene Gesserit.
Okay.
You will remember this. They're sort of like, if you can remember in Lord of the Rings, the wizards had their own sense of power and crafting the world outside of the power of the elves and the humans and all that kind of stuff. So the Bene Gesserit are sometimes compared to witches, are sometimes compared to wizards, or in a way compared to the Jedi.
Or clerics or Jedi.
Outside the system.
I mean, or think about religion 20,000 years from now.
Sure. And there's so many sort of religious overtones. Aside from the Bene Gesserit, and sorry, I'm getting order mixed up here. Our poor director to show the beautiful footage of the movie.
It is. It's absolutely stunning, on my word.
The Chome Company might ring a bell for you. The Combine Honnet, Advancer, Orba Mercantiles. I don't know how I remember that, but they basically, if you think of OPEC, the oil organization, Amazon is a Bobby store. Chome is gigantic, not even trillions. So all of these families want a piece of that company pie. So there's that private sector. If they all make these strategic moves, maybe they'll get into Chome. Aside from Chome, the Spacing Guild. This is what everything else comes down to. The Spacing Guild are these pilots who can travel at faster than the speed of light using the power of a resource on Arrakis. Now, they operate separately to Chome. They're also a private sort of entity, but everything falls apart if you can't travel at the speed of light through the universe. So the families have to play nice with Chome, the company, and the families have to play nice with the Spacing Guild, and or vice versa, etc., all that kind of stuff.
Otherwise, they bear the wrath. Let's go to the bottom of that pyramid.
Of power, yeah. So the Fremen are the people who I'm sure are beloved by many who have read the book. The Fremen are the indigenous people of Arrakis, and they are maligned and they are are exploited and they are treated opportunistically by some of these royal families, very evilly, some of them, and some of them a bit of a, nice armistice. You can think about the indigenous peoples of the United States. The French were brutal to, say, the Blackfoot and the Cree and et cetera, et cetera. The English made careful. Yeah, and so all these Anglo settlers used them in either hyper evil ways or just super exploitative ways. And so the Fremen are treated as just savages, but they're actually super advanced. And
and they are one with the land. Okay.
And so finally,
the land. Why is Dune so important?
Why is Arrakis the thing? So, on Arrakis is the resource that makes faster than light travel possible. Spice, which is this thing that if you take into your body, it allows you to see forward into the future, back into the past, and into the present. It's called prescience, and thus you can pilot a ship at faster than light. And you can't do that if you can't see the future, because you're going to hit a rock, a comet, a planet at the speed of light. Spice is a thing. Then, the friend of the spice is Shai Hulud. May he be blessed and he's coming and going. Sorry, I'm religious about Dune now. Shai Hulud is the gigantic sandworm that you probably see all bits and pieces of here. So these are all of the players in this gigantic 700-page book in this movie that ideally gets 6 more movies. It has only 2 for now, we'll see, but it comes out tomorrow. And
that's why I use the word lore, because basically every scientific venture, whether book or movie, has had some kind of grounding in this because of just how far they thought everything out, how they extrapolated
and you can get too wrapped up in your thoughts and whatever, but please don't be a data junkie for this kind of thing. Go in it, just immerse your entire body and soul, enjoy it, and appreciate what the director, Denis Villeneuve, gave to us here, this huge mass that he had to cobble together. Here he is talking about the experience of making Dune, the director of this beautiful movie coming out tomorrow, Denis Villeneuve.
Let's take a look.
I discovered the book in my youth, in my teenage years. I remember being fascinated by its poetry, by what it was saying about nature. It's very powerful and complex story. Still, we try to approach it from a simple angle. I dreamed about Dune for a very long time. But at the end of the day, what will move the audience will be the performance of the actors.
He knows exactly what he wants. He's loved this book since he was 14. He's had this movie in his mind. This was one of his dream movies.
There's something quite vulnerable and incredible when it comes to Denis' films and characters.
What Denis done, it's so dreamlike. It feels like this phantasmagoric fever dream.
Action! Go, 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 go.
He's a nice, warming, caring, funny, intelligent person that reminding them the joy of why we do what we do, which is to imagine and to create something that doesn't exist.
He is a director who really understands how to create the most creative set, the ambiance for people to be at their best.
I found Denis to be one of the best collaborators I've ever worked with because we immediately started talking about the scenes and talking about the book. He was always incredibly open to a lot of these things and open to exploring it further.
Denis is so thoughtful with everything that he does. I don't think there's any part of anything that he hasn't thought through like a million times.
For me, cinema is an art form, so I want the audience to be blown away. I want them to be excited, but what they will take out of it, that belongs to the audience.
This is only the beginning.
Oh, this really is only the beginning. Buddy, thank you so much for getting through so much information. I love the fact that you can approach this as a super fan or as a new initiate. Either way, it's going to change your perspective. And of course, if you were listening very closely to what this genius next to me was saying, you might win an awesome prize.
Have you seen JP that excited before?
I've never seen him more excited before.
Honestly, now, if you were listening carefully during JP Sebastian's Dune explainer, then you better sit up, right? Sit up. Now listen to this. You might be a winner of our exciting competition where we are giving away 3 hampers that contain Dune merchandise.
Look at it. Look at it. The beautiful display is right here in front of us. Now, the question is, in the new film Dune, which royal family does Timothée Chalamet's character of Paul belong to? Okay? Now, if you answer correctly, you again stand a chance of winning one of 3 Dune merchandise hampers, which includes a spinning keyring, a phone ring, a laptop case, a tote bag, a water bottle, a bandana, a baseball cap, and double tickets to see the film. How amazing is that? All of this could be yours. Now, enter by filling out the competition form on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Remember, those T's and C's do apply and can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. One more time, have a look at this. All of this could be yours.
Cannot wait.
Right now. Right now. Right now.
All right, Michaela, turn. I'm trying to figure out what on earth we are making. I can see our beautiful Clover Bliss is here, our chocolate dairy dessert, but there's a lot of other things, and there's popcorn. This is crazy. This looks delicious. This looks like the perfect addition to a movie night, actually.
I'm surprised you haven't started throwing those at people.
I've
though.
already eaten some, I won't lie, okay. What are we making here? What
We're
is
making
this?
a chocolate milkshake, of course.
Oh, don't oversimplify it like that. This is so much more than a chocolate milkshake, girl.
It
Sure,
literally is a chocolate milkshake, and it's made easy by our Clover Bliss.
Oh, and extra delicious and luxurious and creamy and wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so how do we go about this? I'm all about the American shake that just goes so far beyond it, and this looks like it really does.
This is going to be
ramp
one of
up
those shakes where you get a full glass, and then you still get the glass on the side. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That's what you get when you go to an
Like
American diner.
one of those crazy YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That you have to beat the challenge.
We
Okay.
obviously need some ice cream to add the cold factor to it.
Okay.
We have a little bit of fresh cream.
Yeah. This is full on
rich,
luxurious,
eh?
We aren't holding
Flip.
back with this one. I
Do you
love
want to
that.
start decorating the glass with some melted chocolate we have there? So just
Okay.
drizzle it on the inside.
Do I use the fork to do this? Is that why it's there? Okay.
And then we add our Clover Bliss. Oh, flip, that texture's good.
I know, it is so creamy and so...
I know.
Let me just... This is actually more fun than I thought it was going to be. That's great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty funky.
And then you just throw it all into a blender / NutriBullet. Is that on tight enough? Yeah.
Quite avant-garde. I just want to eat the chocolate dripping sauce. Like, it's beautiful. Wow. Oh, this is going to be so decadent and delicious.
Are you eating it?
I'm going to eat it, because you don't drink it, you eat a milkshake like this. Now, why we love our Clover Bliss medium cream chocolate dairy dessert is because it's ready to eat, yes. It's a chocolate dairy dessert that is perfect on its own. You can pour it, you can sauce it, or you can top it. Basically, anything goes. No whipping, no cooking, no baking, no fuss. It's just ready to eat indulgence, and you can use it as an ingredient or on its own, just as a snack. But it just adds such a luxurious, beautiful mouthfeel and flavor profile to something like that. Like, oh, wow. This
Then
is
we
so
top
exciting.
with fresh cream.
As you must.
Just a little bit extra. Top with some popcorn, the buttery kind.
Okay.
What do you like, salted or like super buttery?
I'm salted. Always.
Really?
Yeah. No, the more salt, I'm that guy that burns off the layer of skin in my mouth. I put too much salt on at the movies. I love it. Absolutely love it.
And every
saltiness,
flavour?
Yeah. No, plain salt. I'm a
Just salt?
traditionalist, yeah.
Boring.
And then we drizzle, eh?
Yeah.
Oh my word, this is so exciting. This is a dramatic, beautiful milkshake.
Isn't it just?
And again, it feels like we're underselling it as a milkshake, but I think the saltiness of the popcorn is going to go beautifully with the sweet here as well.
You could also chuck some popcorn in there if you really wanted to and give that a blend.
Blend it through. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. That'll add a whole different flavor profile, but this is beautiful and it's luxurious and it's just a little bit indulgent, and you can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. How do you even, how? How do
Go down into it.
See, I want to get some of the popcorn and some of the milkshake.
And just 90% chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm beautiful. Oh my word. We need a straw so you can actually drink a little bit as well. But that is beautiful. Find it, expressoshow.com. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Made with love by Clover. Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show, Dune. Dune. That's all we're saying. That's all we've been hyping up all morning. We've heard our expert movie reviewer, JP Sebastian, tell us all about what to expect when we dive into the world of the new, highly anticipated film remake, Dune. Again, I'm saying it again and again, Dune. But now it's time to hear from the cast and the crew themselves.
There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Dune is the story of the Atreides family that falls into the trap set by the Emperor, who is getting more and more jealous of their growing popularity.
House Atreides stands as a beacon where every other house in that galaxy is in reference to that, either as enemies or as friends. He wants to not only make sure that his people survive, but that his son is the kind of leader that he thinks he should be.
Paul Atreides is the son of Duke Leto and Lady Jessica.
The great houses look to us for leadership, and this threatens the Emperor.
Gurney Halleck and Duncan Idaho did feel like big brothers. You know, they rib him, especially Jason.
He's definitely the head knight who watches over the family.
Sarkar!
I mean, that's his sworn duty. I mean, I think that's what any honorable knight soldier does.
No! Duncan!
I mean, that's his family. That's who he bleeds for.
Gurney Halleck is a combat trainer, and he's a warrior.
Oh, man.
Now fight!
He's a very strict but fun, visceral, paternal, maternal. He's all of those things to Paul.
Lady Jessica is part of the Order of the Bene Gesserit. This order that she's a part of, we can say, make her perhaps the non-traditional partner to Duke Leto.
This group of women who carries enormous strength and power. They are bodyguards, they are fighters, they can read people. And this is what Jessica is having to deal with, being a mother, a lover, and this Bene Gesserit.
How can the Emperor take everything we built and give it to that Duke?
When is a gift not a gift?
Every movie needs its bad guys, and the Harkonnens are the old ancestral enemies of the Atreides. Frank Herbert created a very powerful character into Baron Vladimir Harkonnen.
He just shows up and then his shadow looms throughout the film. He's causing many people's death.
He feeds off fear, he feeds off of pain. He's a vicious, sadistic person.
Now squeeze, Rabbit. Squeeze hard.
Yes, Uncle. And the vermin.
Kill them all.
Stilgar is the leader of the Fremen. He is a powerful character. He's a warrior, but also is a warrior. He worries about the future.
Paul is dreaming about this strange young woman that keeps talking to him in his dream. She feels like an old friend again, and someone that wants to guide him.
Follow the friend.
Shani is native to Arrakis. She's used to this hostility between her people and the people that are trying to take from her land. She's a fighter at the end of the day.
House Atreides and the Harkonnen have an ancient grudge, and the forces that they're up against are much greater than he had anticipated.
They're on a path of conflict, and it's the moral catalyst to Paul's arc towards something greater.
Next level. That's all I can say is next
Goodness.
level.
It's almost the anticipation of watching this film is so overwhelming for me. I might even wait an extra week just to feel like this, to have this buzz and this
No,
build.
but then everyone in studio is going to do spoiler alerts, and then
I know, it's not going to... I'm going to watch it about 100 times anyway. Absolutely amazing. The moment hundreds and thousands of us fans have been waiting for, over 50 years, in fact, is here. The epic remake of Dune from visionary director Denis Villeneuve is finally here. This a gripping story based on the all-time best-selling book by Frank Herbert is set against a backdrop of intergalactic war and intense family drama, which is not only brought to life by a stellar all-star cast, as you just saw, but also by New Metro's larger-than-life extreme cinemas as well. If you're going to see it like this.
Yeah, now Paul Atreides is a brilliant and gifted young man born into great destiny beyond his understanding, must traveled to the most dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people. Now, as malevolent forces explode into conflict over the planet's exclusive supply of the most precious resource in existence, a commodity capable of unlocking humanity's greatest potential, only those who can conquer their fear will survive. Since we can't get enough of this film, let's take another sneak peek.
Coming.
Come on, bring it. Yes.
As soon as we land, run for the rocks.
It's Warren territory.
It's coming. Run!
Go, 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 go!
It's here!
With every single sneak peek, it only gets better and better.
I do get goosebumps after watching
I've got bumps on my goosebumps.
You're just hearing, the boys are just sighing, the studio, everyone is just excited, but it is time to experience this visually stunning masterpiece with massive scope and scale at New Metro Extreme from this Friday, the 22nd of October 2021. Embark on a cinematic journey like no other, filled with a spectacular action, adventure, and epic drama in New Metro's Extreme Cinemas. Now, it features some of South Africa's largest screens, Ultra HD laser projection, as well as an all-round Dolby Atmos sound. That is how you need to experience it.
Complete immersion. And if that wasn't enough, get this, New Metro are giving away Extreme movie tickets to one lucky winner for an entire
whole year.
What? In Extreme. I don't know if they're going to keep June in the cinemas for an entire year, but you can watch it every week if you wanted to. And it's happening this October. All you need to do is head over to your nearest participating New Metro cinema or book online to purchase your Extreme tickets for the 3 qualifying movies, and they're all brilliant. No Time to Die, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and of course, June. Then keep your movie ticket stubs with the ticket numbers. Visit newmetro.co.za/ExpressoXO, and then just complete the online entry form. The competition closes on the 31st of this month, but you can find all the terms and conditions on the entry page.
Yeah, and remember, selected New Metro cinemas are officially open daily. Yes, now with all the required COVID-19 precautions in place to keep you safe. All other New Metro cinemas will be open over the weekends only, so you can see the action-packed edge of your seat Dune in New Metro Extreme Cinemas from this Friday, the 22nd of October, 2021. And you can book your tickets now to enter the Extreme October competition.
Good luck.
Do you think they're sold out? Do you think it's sold out for the first time?
I don't know, but we need to plan a date, G. Are you ready?
Hey, come on.
Get the popcorn going.
Ready, made it.
Yeah, it's fine.
When you tell her no ban, go by this thing, me I am ending. She's a hater, a demon. I have her, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I have her, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I have her, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I have her, a demon, I don't want to deal.
She can go round, round, take you out back. Driving in the front seat, lying out flat. Once you go down, down, won't get away. Once you fall down, 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 down. She can go round, round, take you out back. Driving in the front seat, lying out flat. Once you go down, down, won't won't get away. Let you fall down, 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 down.
She can go down, down, down to the dark place deep in my mind. Girl, you're the witch, I swear it on God, don't you ruin my life.
You just act hard when I'm feeling lockjaw, cause you know I won't bite. Dreaming of you thrown in the brings a tear to my eye. Oh, wish.
She's a hater, a demon. A hater, a demon, a demon, a demon, a demon, a demon.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue to go Moggy over Dune, obviously releasing locally in cinemas tomorrow. Now, Dune the movie is nearly upon us, obviously, and there is a lot of Dune featured in video games, understandably, and some that have been very influential in the world of gaming. Grant, our gaming guru, is here to tell us a little bit more. G, great to connect with you, my friend, ahead of such an auspicious movie release in the country. So much excitement. But Dune has been around for the longest time and has influenced popular culture on so many levels. Now, obviously, when it comes to games, there are a number of games based on the novels by Frank Herbert. How many game adaptations have there been, and how have they been received? Because we know we've got some pretty unforgiving Dune fans out there.
Firstly, I'm so excited about Dune. JP raved about it, literally sent me a 10-minute voice note after the movie. So I've booked my tickets at New Metro tomorrow night.
Well done.
I go through to watch, and I'll, obviously best cinema. I want to get the best experience.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
we're very excited about that. There have been a lot of games in the Dune franchise, and obviously based on Frank Herbert's book, but then also influenced quite heavily by David Lynch's original film in 1984, just because there's a lot of visual elements that, the book kind of touches on, but, the art direction was kind of established by the movies. But the most important part about Dune as a series of games is the fact that they kind of triggered a lot of really amazing, they just set off this really amazing lineage of game mechanics that are used in many other games to this day. So they were actually quite influential games, even though that they were, you're going to see they're a little bit rudimentary. Let's have a look. So in 1992, the original Dune game did come out, and you'll see that a lot of the art direction has been taken from the film, and obviously the story is loosely based on the novel, and the novel came out in 1965, so this is like a long time prior from obviously a 1992 video game release. And there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of real-time strategy, and the whole idea is about managing your resources, being able to space mine, manage your military forces, and build some really great ecology, and then also terraform the planet of Arrakis. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I'm actually very new to the Dune lore. I kind of missed it as a kid watching the movies and stuff. So you're way down the line from me, Graham. But am I pronouncing that rightly? Arrakis?
Arrakis. I don't think it really matters, my friend. It's a fictional planet that's 20,000 years in the future. So I think.
Hey, as you said, they're diehard fans. They're diehard fans.
I love that, man. Okay, so carry on talking us through the titles. So we're still in 1992. We've seen Dune 1, Dune 2 released pretty much shortly after.
Yeah, very much in the same year Dune 2 comes out. I think, arguably, fans would say Dune 2 was the better version of the two. We can also thank Richard Branson for these games because Virgin Interactive and Westwood Studios put these out. Remember, Westwood Studios was the same studio that did Command & Conquer. So this was all happening around at the same time. And these real-time strategy games were the ones that inspired the StarCraft series, the huge influential real-time strategy tournaments, and even now with Dota, which is the world's biggest, Dota and League of Legends, the world's biggest MOBAs, competitively, all was inspired by these games. This is where their roots were. But what Dune did very differently is that it incorporated story in this nearly, not choose your own adventure-ish, but these story screens, as you saw in that footage, so people talking, and then there is gameplay. And then Command & Conquer did a little bit of that with the actors. And Dune actually went there as well. So in 1998, let's fast forward a little bit into the future. Dune 2000 comes up. It's kind of like a remake of the original Dune 2. Because,
it's starting to look
again,
very much
Dune
like
2,
StarCraft, eh?
Yes, yes. Now you see. I was, just to show you my age, I was 13 when this game was released. It was a very big year for me gaming-wise because I could start playing a whole bunch of really exciting games. They improved the graphics because it was kind of like a remake of the previous game. So they made the graphics better. It ran better on those systems. I think it was a Pentium, Celeron was like the machines that were coming. A Voodoo 3DX was like were the cards back then. And then they also had live action cutscenes similar to Command & Conquer. So they had these, you could actually see actors play out the scenes. So instead of rendering them in 3D or have them still animated like you saw earlier, just like an illustration, it was literally actors acting them out.
I've got to ask you very quickly, with all of the excitement around Dune right now, I know we're going to continue our exploration in just a moment, but do you think there is a game in the works, something to take it forward in the here and now with all of this focus on the movie?
I hope so. There is no word about it. I think maybe depending on the success of the film, they'll decide whether they're going to make a game or not, or push a game. I really hope they do. A lot of these studios have kind of gone defunct, unfortunately. So Virgin Interactive doesn't really exist anymore. You know, the Command & Conquer franchise is under the EA belt. So EA bought Westwood Studios. So maybe EA has the rights to do a Dune game. So we'll see. Maybe they'll just, you know, forget about that FIFA title. You know, who cares?
I know. Well, they might lose that FIFA title and be forced to look elsewhere. Absolutely love it, my friend. You stick around. We're going to continue to delve into the lore and this incredible history of Dune. And this time, we're going to be chatting about their collaboration with Fortnite. Stick around.
Yeah, and of course, with all this hype about Dune that's releasing in cinemas, it's time to get involved in movie night. And what's better than a beautiful snack? And not just any burger, but the burger slider. And we've got the professional in the building, the beautiful, illustrious, gorgeous Michaela is here to show us how it's a cheeseburger like no other, can be enjoyed in so many ways. And we've got some epic clover cheese to add to this, right?
Always. And 2 kinds of cheese, not just one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have some grated cheese, and then we have cheese slices.
How you like your cheese?
Or just any kind. It actually does not matter as long as it's
as long as it's got cheese in it.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we doing? Can I help you with anything? And
you can slice those little slider buns.
Slider buns. Oh, we're making like little burgers, right?
Yeah.
Like sliders.
So it's if you have like a huge party of people and you just want a whole bunch of like taster snacks. These are perfect for that.
Okay, or you want to like have your whole burger in one bite and you want more than one burger.
I mean, you could eat 10 of them. You could maybe, I can't.
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
Give me 10 burgers, all right. So how are we doing this?
So we have some beef mince.
Okay.
I've added some onion to that. We have some garlic.
Is that mince in the pan there, right? Of course. In the bowl, sorry, not
yes,
the pan?
Yes.
Okay.
Some pepper, some salt,
some
breadcrumbs, and an egg.
The egg is always to bind it, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, it is.
It is to bind.
And I'm assuming that, like, not necessarily just a slider, but like a normal burger patty would work just the same with this mix, right?
Yes, exactly. These are just mini versions, you know.
Okay.
The only difference we have is we're adding some tomato sauce, cooking it almost like a meatball pasta, but then we're adding that to a burger.
Okay, so it's like a meatball burger.
I get in there with my hand because this is just...
Yeah, get involved.
Yeah, you can't make like patties or any kind of meatballs without using your hand.
No, and this is the love. This is where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
You put your elbow grease into it.
And also what you're doing when you're mixing the meat is you're making it a little bit more compact. So you have to kind of like work the meat to get it to bind correctly.
Okay, I got you.
That's something that most people actually don't do.
And then
it
happens,
crumbles
they put
apart.
it in there and it just ends up becoming mince again, right? You get
Exactly,
like a crumbly burger, or otherwise maybe known as like a fricadelle in a way.
A fricadelle.
You know what a fricadelle is?
I love fricadelles.
Yeah, those are good. Those are kind of like mini burgers, but I think they're just not patty-like. They're just a bit more like crumbly.
They are. Okay, so you shape them into meatballs.
Have you put the pan on this time as opposed to earlier when it was so...
It was on!
How are you playing? It was just a little bit low.
It was super low. It is on high now.
All right. I'm going to hear that sizzle, eh? Oh, yes, it's on. We're live. We're in the kitchen.
Put your cheese on those buns.
Okay. Am I really putting the cheese on the buns now or waiting for the patty?
So put your slices on the bottom.
Okay, starting with slices, all right. And I love the convenient fact that it's already sliced. I literally just have to pull it out.
I'm really bad at slicing cheese.
Or are you the kind of person that you have a block of cheese and when you slice it, you
It
get
goes like
a 45-degree hypotenuse angle? Okay.
Wow.
I'm the same as you. I'm always pie-fagging my cheese, so this is absolutely...
There's always a thick side.
There is always
Yeah.
there is indeed. And while we're busy with cheese, Cloverleaf cheese is perfectly crafted to do the 5-step crafting process to bring your cheese to that superiority and the quality, the taste and the texture that we all love. And then meatballs on top of it are often enjoyed in pastas, as we are familiar with, especially after using the tomato sauce that we have. But who said you can't have it as a slider, right? So you can even go as far as adding cheese inside the meatball mixture. Yes.
I do
that's
my
what's up.
burgers like that.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine biting? Oh, no, say no more.
And then you put cheese on the top as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is good. I see what you mean about cheese.
Yeah.
Not many people, apart from like those that are, lactose intolerant, I think they just don't like cheese because they're not allowed to.
I'm actually a little bit lactose. But you know,
it's a
I'll
worthy
take one for the
sacrifice.
team.
I feel you there. Cheese is good. I mean, let's be honest, almost any fat is good.
So then what
Cheese,
you'd want
butter,
to do
you
with
name
this is get it golden brown.
All right.
Get in there with your hands.
And is it something you can just leave on one side for 10 seconds? You've got to keep working it and rolling it around.
Well, you just want to get like a little bit of browning on it.
Okay.
Just to add more flavor, because brown means flavor.
Brown means we're down to eat our burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
then, once they've browned a little, you would then add your sauce.
Just a little.
My hand was slippery.
All right, and that's obviously, you're doing that pre it being fully cooked because then it can absorb some of that
Yes,
flavor, right? All that
exactly,
good
yeah.
stuff. And of course, for all of you guys watching at home right now, if you're looking for this inspiration, you're looking for some movie night themed snack inspo, then you can head over to expressoshow.com. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Myself and Michaela are going through it right now. What you'd end up with after the pot is, voila, your beautiful meatball over here, completely absorbing all that tomato. Pop it on the burger bun, yeah, just like this. Let me show you how simple this is.
I don't even have
Popping
to
it-
say anything.
You don't have to say anything. We like in sync. We are in flow state. And
Are we
then
done?
some more cheese on top
Yeah.
of that. Let it get all nice and warm, and voila, the perfect snack for movie night, for Dune releasing in the cinemas, or just to chill with Bay at home. I couldn't think of a perfect way to do it. It was that quick and that simple. Brought to you by this beautiful soul on my right-hand side. Michaela, thank you so much.
Thanks,
and
Rob.
you, Mzansi, enjoy your baguettes.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Elite quality, elite taste, elite texture.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
Join Expresso this spring to stand a chance of winning a 4,000 Rand Plascon voucher weekly as we ask how you colour your life. Is it the cherry red in your ride, maybe the burst of new blues from your garden, or the sunsets and seascapes of a favourite getaway? We'll answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Then colour your life with 4,000 Rand paint vouchers to be won all spring on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, indeed, is your feel-good breakfast show on this Thursday. Welcome back, everybody. Now, last week, we saw baked beans take centre stage on the newest cooking reality competition show, Colour Your Plate with Koo. And last night, it was beetroot's time to shine. 5 entered, but only 1 can advance through to the finals. Who was it? Let's take a look at the winning moment.
Are you the winner for today? Should we go?
Yes.
And the winner is...
It's my plate. I can't believe this. I just know my mother was with me during this time. My mom, check. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chantal. I can see how proud you are of this dish as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together. Let's give a good, feel-good welcome to Chantal August in the building, joining us right now. Chantal. She's going to be chatting ahead of the show, the experience and everything that happened. But first, let me ask you, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I feel amazing. I feel so proud of myself.
That was intense stuff. I was like feeling, they always take so long with that result and you just absolute suspense, absolute nerves. But we'll tackle and get into it right now. I'm just so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Beetroot. Beetroot is a tough component to any dish. I mean, it's usually a side dish for you to incorporate that into your main meal and then winning it, sitting here right now. How do you feel being able to sit here as a winner of that episode?
I feel amazing. I feel so proud of myself. I come far, and you know, beetroot is a little bit of a challenge to work with, especially when you have to make it the star of the recipe and incorporate in your mains, but I managed to pull it off.
You definitely did, and you are a champion. Own it.
Absolutely.
Koo has all these incredible flavors, all these incredible varieties, but why do you love cooking with Koo exactly?
I mean, we all grew up with Koo, as everywhere in South Africa. It's been part of my life ever since I was a baby, and it's going to continue to be part of my life. I love cooking with Koo. It's so easy. Most of their stuff, you just throw it in the pot, and there you go.
It's the convenience for every single one of us as South Africans. We love the brand. But why did you enter this? Because clearly, as you can see, there was so much emotions when you were just announced. You said, I'm wearing my mom's jacket. So clearly it means it's a big moment for you. Take us through why you wanted to enter this competition.
I entered because I love cooking. I'm a home cook. I live with a family of 8. So I love to experience in the kitchen. And they just motivated me and said, you got this. You can enter this. You know food and flavors. So I took the chance and it paid off. And I'm so happy I did.
You are, and I'm just watching those visuals. You look absolutely ecstatic. And I can see your mom's jacket. I want to talk to you about that. You mentioned in the show last night, it's your mom's jacket, number 1, and it's very important to you. But what's the story behind that and why?
So when we were shooting that episode over there, my mom just passed. So it was like so fresh. It was a week and a half into it. And I was still like grieving, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make the show. But then I thought my mother would want me to go on the show. So I put on a jacket, her coat, just to have her with me through this whole process because it was nerve-wracking. And she was there, and I felt her there with me. And it was awesome.
Yo, Chantal, that is incredible. Honestly, to have the nerve to still step up on the stage and perform. But I think you're so right. I think she'll be definitely smiling after that performance. You did her proud. You did Mom proud.
For sure. Mama is smiling from up there. She's your guardian angel right now. But obviously now you have to bring out that winning spirit. What can people expect going forward in the round? Are you going to bring your A game every single
Finals
week?
coming up, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so amped. You know, after winning that, before I won the episode, I was like doubting myself. But after I won, I got all that confidence and I'm ready to bring my A game.
Yes, never doubt yourself again, Chantal. You were made for this, you were born for this, and you're going to do your mom that much more prouder, and we can't thank you enough for joining us this morning. So yeah,
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute honor, and I'm going to be watching those episodes, and I'm going to be rooting for you. You got me in your corner. And of course, you guys can catch up on more of those episodes every week. But before we get into the rest of the magic on the show, you can check out the news right now with G.
Thanks so much, Raul. It is almost the top of the hour and time to get back into, first off, our South African news. And we start here in SA, where to prevent the spread of COVID-19 on Municipal Elections Day on the 1st of November, the traditional indelible ink marker pens will be replaced with a liquid that will be applied through the use of a disposable bud. Now, Provincial Electoral Officer Michael Hendricks added that voters should also bring their own pens to mark their ballot papers. Other protocols introduced for the 2020 by-elections will be continued in the upcoming municipal elections, including strict social distancing outside and inside voting stations, then mandatory mask wearing and hand sanitizing upon entry. Then the University of the Free State's Pharmacology Department plans to create South Africa's most advanced pharmacology good laboratory practices accredited research and development laboratory after receiving a 58 million rand grant. So Pharmacology Director Professor Motla Lepula Matsabisa has received a Department of Science and Innovation high-end infrastructure grant to build this incredible laboratory. The lab will be a center of excellence for the government, the World Health Organization, and the African Union's Commission for Social Development, a quantum leap forward. Then casting a wider gaze on the international front, Egypt has appointed 98 women as judges in one of the country's main judicial bodies, the State Council. Now, the judges were sworn in before the council's chief judge in Cairo yesterday, and it comes months after President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi called for women to join the country's two main judicial bodies, the State Council and the Public Prosecution. Now, since its inception in 1946, the State Council has been exclusively male and until now actively rejected female applicants. In past years, women have opposed many decisions of the council, so another big step forward. And then a little further afield, imprisoned Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was yesterday awarded the European Union's top human rights prize for his efforts to shine a light on corruption under Russian President Vladimir Putin. The award, the Sakharov Prize for Freedom of Thought, is named after the Soviet dissident Andrei Sakharov. Past recipients of the prize include the late President Nelson Mandela and Pakistani activist Malala Yousafzai. As he's in prison, Navalny is unlikely to be able to receive the $59,000 prize in person at the award ceremony in Strasbourg in Germany in mid-December. Now, a very proud moment for the country, an organization that connects a world of excess to a world of need. In the last 18 months, Food Forward South Africa has distributed no less than 48 million meals to South Africans in need. 1/3 of all food produced in South Africa is dumped in landfills. More than 14 million people go hungry every day. Let's connect the dots. Established in 2009 to address widespread hunger in South Africa, Food Forward South Africa connects a world of excess to a world of need by recovering quality edible surplus food from the consumer goods supply chain and then distributing it to the community organizations that serve the poor. More than 80% of the food recovered is nutritious, and the organization is currently supporting 1,250 beneficiary organizations, reaching some 675,000 people on a daily basis. And since the 1st of March of 2021, it has distributed almost 5 million kilograms of food, which equates to more than 19 million meals. Incredible. Food Forward South Africa is the largest food redistribution organization in South Africa. If you're a corporate and wanting to get on board, they are the right people to back. On that very positive note is where we round off all of our news headlines for today. Let's get one last look at the weather.
Thank you so much, Gina. To take a final look at the weather this morning, and starting off with some local warnings, the SA Weather Service has issued a yellow level 2 warning for today for severe thunderstorms, resulting in localized flash flooding and short-term disruption to essential services over the western, central and southern parts of the Northern Cape, as well as the Central and Little Karoo, Garden Route, Cape Winelands and the Overberg of the Western Cape. Now, heavy downpours of 20 to 30 millimeters, large amounts of small hail and gusts gusty winds can be expected. Now, the Weather Service also issued an orange level 5 warning for severe thunderstorms resulting in flash flooding and damage to infrastructure for Laingsburg, Mossel Bay, Hesikwa, as well as Swellendam. Now, elsewhere in the central to eastern regions of Western Cape and most of the Northern Cape, strong gusty winds and lightning over open areas can be expected. And now we recap the stunning sunrise pictures shared with us via the Expresso Facebook page, which we absolutely love. And we started this morning off with Maurice Conradi from Paul, who shared this pretty skyline with clouds scattered and stretching across the sky. And then Miranda Block captured this beautiful shot of the full moon reflecting over the Atlantic Ocean at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then regular contributor Nick Lombard has exchanged his usual views of the dry Northern Cape for some coastal views of Virginia Beach in KZN. And then last but not least, Zamo Zaku shared this silhouetted photo taken just as the skies begin to transition from darkness to light. Now, I'm talking about light right now because all of these pictures have lit us up, and it's continuing to do so for the rest of the country and everybody else watching, and we thank you so, so much. Whatever you are, please send through your pictures because we love sharing it with the rest of the world. But now to take a look at the local temperatures, starting off at Polokwane, a low of 13 and a high of 26 for the day. In Mbombela starts the day at 15, moving up to 32. In Pretoria, your day starts at 16, moving up to 27 degrees. Johannesburg, very similar, 15, moving over to 25 degrees. And then in Mahikeng, your day starts at 14, moving over to a high of 28 degrees Celsius. Klerksdorp starts the day at 15, moving up to 29 degrees. In Kimberley, very similar, with a low of 14 and a high of 27 degrees, with Bloemfontein following suit at a low of 13 and a high as well of 27 degrees. Richards Bay starts the day at 20, moving up to 30 degrees Celsius. Pietermaritzburg, a minimum of 17, moving up to 33. In Durban, your day starts at 19, moving up to 26 degrees Celsius. Mthatha has a low of 14 and a high of 34 degrees. East London, you can expect a low of 19 and a high of 27. In Cradock, your day has some thunder showers expected at 42%, with a low of 15 and a high of 31 degrees. Berga starts the day at 18, moving up to 25 degrees. And then in George, you've got a maximum of 24 and a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius for the day. Cape Town, very similar, with a minimum of 15 and a high of 22. Worcester can expect some rain at 30% with a 30-degree high and a low of 20. Sutherland, your day starts at 7, moving up to 24, but thunder showers can be expected at 65% chance, and much the same for Uppington, 55% chance of thunder showers coming through. 13 is your low and a high of 24 degrees. That's a final look at the weather this morning. Again, thank you all so much for lighting up our morning and sending in those beautiful pictures. And speaking of lighting up, we've got a superstar in the building who's about to light up the stage. Let's check her out.
Yes, Mr. Nature Boy, things are about to get heated in here. We're back on the Expresso stage with international, homegrown sensation, Moonchild Sanelly, and she's taking us this morning on a whole new level with her hot single featuring UK music duo Sad Night Dynamite called Demon. Mama, show us what you're made of.
Good. Let's go. For you and then talk smack about me. She be telling you things, you come home and act like I'm starting these things. She be pushing buttons, when you come you don't ask and start defending. When we tell her no bad, go bad, this thing mina I am ending. She's a hater, a demon, a hater, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon, a hater, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon, I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon, a demon, I don't want to deal.
She can go round, take you out back. Driving in the front seat, lying out flat. Once you go down, won't get away. Let you fall down. She can go round, take you out back. Driving in the front seat, lying out flat. Once you go down, won't get away. Let you fall down.
She can go down, down, down to the dark place deep in my mind. Girl, you're the witch, I swear it on God, don't you ruin my life.
Oh yeah?
You just act hard when I'm feeling lockjaw, cause you know I won't bite. Dreaming of you thrown in the brings a tear to my eye. Oh, witch.
She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to
She
deal.
can go round, round, take you out back. Driving in the front seat, lying out flat. Once you go down, down, won't get away. Let you fall down, 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 down. She can go round, round, take you out back. Driving in the front seat, lying out flat. Once you go down, down, won't get away. Let you fall down, 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 down.
You don't listen to me, me, me. All you know is protecting that little bitch starting now. Let me say, if I see her, she better not talk to me, me, me. You don't listen to me, me, me. All you know is protecting that little starting now. Let me say, if I see her, she better not talk to me, me, me. She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to deal. She's a hater, a demon. I hate her, a demon. I don't want to deal.
real good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. We continue to prime you for the local release of Dune. It is a masterpiece that hinges on the bigger picture, and we've gone through some of those kind of macro elements, if you will, and also the micro elements, those individual characters, the nuance of the character and the relationships, because the stakes are always so high.
Yes.
And that you feel it because there is so much riding on everything that happens for each individual character. And you constantly empathize and you think, if he does that, where's it going to leave the Duke?
And because of one person, the universe, literally very much like knives are very prominent in Dune. You'll find out in the most
Goosebump moment number 59
The universe
the day.
is on in Knife's Edge.
Okay, so let's go
talk
through
about
the characters. Let's talk about, he is one of the most beautiful characters because there is a huge amount of pain like interwoven into his story.
In the book,
Duke Leto Atreides.
Duke Leto Atreides played brilliantly by Oscar Isaac.
Perfect casting.
Every character in this, every actor in this, and I'm going to say at the top, man, you can feel the gratefulness in every actor. So Duke Leto Atreides, who is the head of the House Atreides, this is a house on the rise. So there's a lot of jealousy and there are knives hidden in the dark, backstabbers and all that kind of stuff. He's always watching his back, but he's very tactical. He's very sharp. It is said at the very start that there's a prophecy by these Bene Gesserit I mentioned earlier that his time might be up. You'll find out when you watch the movie. Duke Leto Atreides is a guy who wants to be a good man, but might find out that the system eats you up, spits you out, and makes you as
he
bad
might
as
have
the
to
Harkonnens.
compromise.
Yeah. Next up,
Lady Jessica has her one foot on two different worlds.
Yes.
And she's kind of a bridge between two worlds that ultimately become vital for her son.
Yes, so she is the concubine of Duke Leto Atreides, and they do love each other dearly. But there are all sorts of people trying to, skin her and stuff, saying because she is Bene Gesserit herself, that's like I said, sort of the outsider wizard type people, if you want to put it that way.
A priestess, if you will.
A sisterhood of people who want to steer the destiny of humanity. They worry that she's manipulating the Duke. But, like you said, with her relationship with Paul Atreides, who I'll tell you about next, she's suspecting that he is the one, the Kwisatz Haderach. Or to the Fremen, if you like, Lisan al-Gaib, Mahdi. JP can go on for days. Pete shape. How come Pete is nodding his head and shedding a tear? It's literally a religion to some people. Paul Atreides is next then after Lady Jessica, son and heir to the House Atreides. He is not necessarily weak, but he's a teenager.
Yeah,
so
he's young. He's a young
He's
man.
on unsteady footing. He's trying to figure himself out, but he does seem to have a sense of presence. Ah, yes, the salute. He's been trained in the ways of the Bene Gesserit. He's been trained in other ways too, which the movie will reveal too, which you'll find out on your own. However, he might be the one who links up with these. You're looking at Zendaya, for example, on one of the pictures you saw there. These Fremen who are native to Arrakis. He's a complete outsider, but somehow he takes to the desert world like a duck
It's
to
almost
water.
like he was one of them. Yeah.
And you'll find out the reasons for those two on your own time.
Paul is a product of the amazing people around him.
Yes.
Yes, his parents, but also these incredible mentors who informed this young man that's emerging.
Also, I'll just go real quickly. Oh, by the way, Lady Jessica, that's Rebecca Ferguson. Paul is Timothée Chalamet. I doubt I needed to tell everyone that. All of us.
Biggest star in Hollywood.
And Paul's mentors are the people who are also right-hand men to the Duke himself. And there'll be a photograph of, maybe we'll see all four of them together, Dr. Yue, who is basically just a university professor type thing, takes Paul through all his academic sort of phases of life. He's learning sages, etc., etc.
Plays a pivotal role in the story, though.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you how. Chang Chen, first time acting in a Western movie there. Gurney Halleck, who is Josh Brolin. He's arms master, sort of the armory controller.
Again, a perfect casting
And he cracks the whip on behalf of the Duke, but he's also almost a father figure to Paul Atreides. When his dad, who is way too busy to be the leader of the house sometimes, can't connect with his son, this is a father figure to Paul.
And
then
teaches him how to fight, yo.
Far right there, you have Thufi Harwat, who is Mentat. Mentat are basically like spies in a way. They're also masters of data. They can assess a situation just by the blink of an eye, and so he trains Paul in how to be tactical. And then lastly,
and again, plays a pivotal role in the storyline.
Duncan Idaho, who is played by beloved Jason Momoa, who, please watch his videos on YouTube about the making of Dune. He is so in love with this, and like every other actor on this, he knows that he's part of something special. All of them probably received a bucket of sand in payment, and they'd be happy. They're so grateful to be part of Dune. Duncan Idaho Kaido is like master samurai, the head knight, the knight in shining armor of House Atreides, and he's their strongest soldier.
And he's hardcore.
So, just by the way, so Gurney Halleck, of course, Josh Brolin, Dr. Yue Chang Chen, all fantastic actors through Stephen McKinley Henderson, and, like I said, Jason Momoa is Duncan Idaho. Moving on to the enemy. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, who is played by Stellan Skarsgård, a huge corpulent man who is such a spoiled sort of rich creature who needs his fat held up by suspensors, these floating machines that hold his entire large corpulent body up.
Basically sucks the life force out of
the planet of Arrakis, which he has to switch himself out of now because Duke Leto Atreides is now taking that position of power. Obviously, he wants to stab Duke Leto Atreides in the back. Beast Raban, who you're going to be looking at next, played by Dave Bautista, who is fantastic. He's just the strong arm of House Harkonnen, and he's brutal, to put it the way Josh Brolin puts it in the movie.
And that builds up to one of the coolest fight moments in anything ever, so you want to follow him.
The Fremen leadership, then. These are the native people of Arrakis, and they are Stilgar, played fantastically by Javier Bardem. He's part leader of the Fremen. Yes, squatting there with his Chris knife, looking like a gangster, and he worries about the future of his people, the indigenous people. And on the right is Liet Kynes, who is a wise person go-between for the Emperor and for the indigenous people, Sharon Duncan Brewster. And finally, I have to mention Chani, played brilliantly by Zendaya. Just a bit of a teaser.
The other biggest star in Hollywood.
Yeah. So you'll see for yourself. Unbelievable how she's matured. Let's cut to a clip, why not?
Yeah, let's do it, because a movie like this needs a soundtrack to match.
It's a space opera, and space opera drives the narrative. The script is brilliant, but this is music, the composition by Hans Zimmer is the voice of God throughout, the divine voice. To put it in non-blasphemous terms, here's a bit about his composition.
When I decided to do Dune, I wanted really to create a new soundscape, and I was in need of a composer. I asked Hans Zimmer if he knew Dune, the book, and Hans answered was that it was probably one of his favorite books of all time, and it was one of his biggest dreams to score Dune.
It was always more about the conversation, because I knew the book so well. He knew the book so well. We knew our subject. So now it was figuring out how we were going to interpret something that we truly loved and admired.
Part of what I love about the score is how unfamiliar it is. It's incredibly exotic, it's emotional, it's intense, it is wholly original and very specific to the film.
We're telling a story in multi-dimensional ways, and we're using voices and a language that you don't understand, and at the same time, somehow you understand it emotionally.
He had recordings being made all around the world for months, and you could tell his team were just living that extreme studio town lifestyle, editing together thousands of samples and recordings.
If you surround yourself with incredibly brave, reckless, and talented people, they'll lead you into new directions automatically. I always know we're on the right path when somebody goes, "This might be the worst idea you've ever heard."
And spent months defining sounds, creating new sounds, searching, pushing the envelope to be reflected, and doing tons of experiments and crazy experiments with crazy instruments. It's quite a privilege for me to work with such an artist. One of the most inspiring and powerful artistic encounter in my life is the one with Hans Zimmer. So to have the chance to work with him on Dune is like one of the big privileges of my life.
Oh my goodness. I think it's going to be a privilege for us to watch this film, buddy. You've gotten me so much more excited than I was already, which is saying a lot. Dune releases in studios in South Africa tomorrow.
Oh, the hype is real. Everybody in the studio is absolutely frothing for it. Now, in light of the movie Dune, we'll be making a dish inspired by one of the leading actors, Timothée Chalamet. And some of his favorite foods include everything bagels and Italian food. So we thought, hey, why not combine the two, right? So we're joined by one of our favorite bakers, Michaela, who will be showing us how to make bagels from scratch and then topping them with some Italian filling ingredients. Oh, these are good. I'm so excited. And are we doing this from scratch?
I'm doing this section from scratch. You're mixing all those ingredients over there to make the topping for the everything bagels.
Okay, what are you busy with?
So I'm making the actual bagel dough from scratch.
Oh, bagel dough.
Yeah.
It's a thing. dang, all right. So let me roll the sleeves up. We're going to get active.
So, if you could mix the everything seasoning that's happening over there, it's like sesame seeds, poppy seeds, garlic flakes,
What are these black
onion
seeds
flakes. They are poppy seeds.
Ah.
They're also black sesame.
Ah, okay, I got you. So what am I mixing it into the dough?
No,
just together.
it's just a topper.
Okay, I got you. Let me get onto that. And is that obviously the topper that ends up on top of the bagel itself,
Yes,
right?
that's
Okay.
literally what an everything bagel is.
Everything
It's
bagel.
not a South African thing either.
Where is the bagel from? Italy?
New York.
New York? Are you serious? Like New York bagel?
Yeah.
What did they just take like a burger bun and then cut a hole in it initially? Or, you know the history?
No, I'm not quite sure what the history is of bagels, but they are of Jewish origin.
Okay. The massive confidence
For
by the way.
Passover, like, you know, for their Sabbath and stuff, they usually do like breads, like challahs and bagels and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit of fact 101 there as well. Thank you, Michaela.
Not a very good one. Sorry to the
Better
Jewish
than I know
community
nothing
that
about
watch.
bagels, and they taste good, so you're definitely beating
And
me on
they're
the
such a
facts
good
there.
chew.
Yes.
Okay, so what you want to do is bloom your yeast first, but we don't have time for all of that.
Yeah.
So I have combined my sugar and my honey together because sugar feeds yeast.
Okay.
So you always need to keep that in mind.
And is the honey just for the sweetness?
Yeah. It's also adding to some of the fuel for the yeast.
Okay. What is yeast like? Like carbohydrate, sugary stuff to kind of make
It
it work?
feeds off the sugars in the yeast. Oh, sorry, it's all stuck in there. And then you want to usually avoid adding the salt too closely to yeast because salt kills yeast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is like
Some baking
war and a
101.
war and a battle going on here within this yeast, I see. I mean, in this
Yeah.
dough. Clearly, it's not just your average dough.
So it's an enriched dough, and we're going to add some butter to it. Although I would probably add a bit more flour. Yeah, so you have your seasoning ready over
Yeah,
there.
seasoning is ready.
Then you would add butter to enrich the dough.
Okay.
And then, once it's all enriched and together, you would allow it to rest for a little bit, like 2 seconds, and then plop it out onto a work surface and knead it. This is going to be super messy, so sorry to the kitchen fairies that have to clean up
So
afterwards.
good. We like fast forwarding, hyper speed and making these bagels.
I actually
Obviously,
don't.
we put more love and time into it. But I
Yeah.
think Zanzi appreciates the fact that they can see exactly what it takes to get this dough into what I would imagine is the end
That
result of the year,
dough.
right?
So if you could break off a round,
Around. So that's just
Yes.
a piece of dough.
so yeah, just break off a piece of dough.
Okay. Piece of dough.
Perfect.
Number one, got it.
Sorry, this is going to stay here. Then what you want to do to get your dough round is you shape it by, this is actually a bit big for my hands. You shape it on the work surface by making it round,
Yeah.
like so. And then you stick your finger in the center and just shape it.
Oh, and you start pulling
Around.
it out like a little.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting the proper shape, eh?
And then for bagels, what gives it the chewy outer is you boil them. So once your dough is shaped into a round, you plop it into some boiling water, let it poach for a little while, and then you take it out and we'll put the everything bagel seasoning on top of it, bake it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius until they're golden brown,
And
maybe
then-
like 20-25 minutes.
Okay.
Then
And
you
then,
get beautiful bagel.
voila, we have our beautiful bagel over here. And we can add any topping that we want, of
But we're
course,
doing Timothy Chalamet's favorite.
which is tomato.
Tomato,
All right. Let's pop some
Italian
tomato on there.
salami,
Italian
and basil
salami
pesto.
and basil pesto. Timothy Chalamet, I think you're doing a thing over here. I can clearly see why you love bagels so much because just smelling this right now, it smells absolutely
That's
good.
like super,
Yeah.
super stingy basil pesto.
Super stingy. Should I go for more?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm prepping the last of this bagel. Of course, you can get this recipe. It's on expressoshow.com. It's everything inspired by Dune, inspired by Timothy Chalamet, one of the lead actors of the Dune film, and you're going to absolutely love it. And you're going to absolutely love this treat because it was pretty simple to make. I've never known the fact that you could actually make your own bagel, but you saw it here first on expressoshow.com. So, of course, Mzansi, take away this recipe, take away the inspiration, and enjoy.
grow your business? Get the office or work from home IT equipment you need from Universe Direct. Universe Direct is South Africa's largest distributor of refurbished IT equipment, from our factory to your door anywhere in the universe. Direct.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still live with Expresso as we continue to celebrate, do a deep dive into Dune. Now, it's always had an impact. I'm talking about the book and previous iteration of the movie, a massive impact on pop culture. Stands to reason that it's doing it again with the movie releasing here in South Africa tomorrow. You know you've made it when you have a skin in Fortnite. That is how far the impact of the film extends to right now. Grant Hines joins us to chat about this. And there he is, Paul Atreides, large and in charge. Is this all just one big marketing campaign? I mean, if it is, it's brilliant.
Yes, definitely. So being in Fortnite is kind of a big deal right now, especially for companies that want to market like films and so on. So it is definitely a marketing campaign. But the great genius of it is that they're massive fans like yourself who really enjoy Dune, and you might also really enjoy Fortnite. And then you can spend time playing Fortnite, this game that you really love, with the characters that you really love. So this is Atreides inside the game, and these are some of the skins and items that you get. So that's the parachute. Look how cool that is. It's called the Ornithopter, because like a helicopter, but it's or like I don't know, orni like an insect, which is cool. And it just goes to show you how big a deal firstly Dune as a franchise is going to be going forward. So if you miss out on this zeitgeist moment in the film, you're going to really miss out going forward, because this is not going to be the only Dune movie we're going to watch. This is going to be a part of your life and your childhood's life growing up right now. I think people who take their kids to go watch it and us who are going to grow up with Dune, like now, it's going to be our Star Wars, our Lord of the Rings, which is really exciting. Then there is also Shani. Yeah, there we go.
I'm just looking
that seems out of character.
The drums. He's got the moves, man. The skin comes with the moves. I love it, man. What is in the pack that you get?
Well, there's a couple of different things. So in Fortnite, you don't just get the character skin, you get a whole bunch of stuff. So you get like the backpacks, which are on the back you can see, this is Shani, this is Zendaya's character in the movie. She's got this, this backpack on the back of her, and you got pickaxes, right, to cut and farm the materials in the world in Fortnite. So you get twin blades and maker hooks from the film. There we go, they're the twin blades.
The maker hooks,
and they're those maker
hooks. Should want to ride.
Yeah, there we go. Is that what they're for? You see, you teach me everything. So those are to ride a worm. And then you use those to farm the environment. So it's just like fan service for people that really love Dune. And the fact that it's coming in the map. And I'm hoping that we can get to see the worm in the Fortnite map. That's what I really, really want.
Again, I have to ask, surely there is another Dune game in the works, dude. I mean, there needs to be a response to this kind of upswelling.
I will tell you something. I've been in this industry for like 13 years now. No, 14 years. I've been doing video games and movie coverage and entertainment. It would be weird if there isn't a Dune game in the works, or at least being built.
I hope so, man. I hope we're going to see this extend, as you say, into so many other areas of pop culture, because this is going to be the first of many Dunes that Villeneuve is going to be bringing us, and this is going to be life-changing for anyone who watches it, and I think it's going to introduce a whole new generation to the wonder, the awe-inspiring wonder of this universe. I think it certainly kind of is in my DNA and turned me into a sci-fi lover, but just my view of the world was dramatically informed by this. Grant, thank you so much, my friend, as always. I suppose go and play Fortnite, dude. Go and enjoy doing whatever you do.
Go watch Dune this weekend. When you get back, make sure you're playing some Fortnite. And then also, if you see the Fortnite skins, just screen grab them, share it with us on socials. We want to see. Look at that. Look at that Ornithopter.
Ornithopter's about to drop him. No worms yet, but I think it's coming. Grant Hines, thank you. You are the gaming guru. Go and enjoy it, and enjoy the film tomorrow night. I know you're going to go see it yourself. In fact, anyone who is going to go watch this, enjoy it. This is a moment of cinematic history.
Oh, now you know that saying that goes, But when life gives you lemons, you trade them for coffee, right? Now, the incredible Nespresso virtual system is all I've ever wanted in a coffee machine. Not only does it make 5 different cup sizes, including a carafe, but it also features some pretty innovative technology. And I'm going to call my main man G here because no one likes coffee like this man over here, right?
No,
and of course,
no
the virtual system has been an absolute delight in your household, in your life, essentially.
We're going with the big boys.
Caramel cookie Nespresso, yeah, man, it's going to be a goodie. Of course, I'm going to prep you up a little drink now, G. This is something that you're going to absolutely love. I'm going to start off just with a little bit of milk.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm special for my boy.
My baby looks after me.
I got you. I've already got a capsule in here, and the beautiful part about this, I think we already know, is the centrifusion technology in this. It's kind of where the magic really happens. Now, it works by reading the unique barcode on each capsule, which you can see right here, and it adjusts to regulate the flow and volume of water, as well as the temperature, infusion time, and even the speed of the capsule's rotation. Now, you know a bit about this, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of computation power going on in this little machine here. It spins that capsule up to 4,000 rotations per minute, blending that ground coffee with the water and then producing the perfect crema to enjoy your favorite long coffee or maybe an authentic espresso. You've now got more range than ever before. It's like having your own barista. And I used to say this, the only issue I used to have was the amount that I was having to make and drink. Because,
you would have like 3 capsules.
Exactly. So, because I enjoy volume, but I also I'm all about flavor intensity. So you need that. And here now you've got 5 different sizes. So literally to the mug, which is my favorite, the 230 ml.
And I'm like,
yeah,
it's the carafe, right?
Yeah, no, the carafe. But what I love about the carafe is you can go back. It's almost like inverting the process where you go back to an espresso mug, but you have the carafe, so you just keep topping up your espresso.
I see what you're doing.
It's just so awesome and absolutely beautiful. But I think the most proud kind of message that they are sending with this. Obviously, the capsules are fully recyclable, as they have been always. This machine itself is built out of more than 50% recycled plastic. How awesome
it's
is that?
incredible. Nature Boy is absolutely loving this, and I'm loving the fact that the machine's almost becoming like a musical instrument in our home, man. Like you can listen to the spins all changing at those different revolutions, and it's literally also the reason why that beautiful crema comes out on top here. I know, G, you are an aficionado when it comes to flavor sensations, and this is really hitting it on the head. That crema is so incredible.
I just wanted to finish so I can taste it, so I can talk about it.
It's like a movie trailer, eh? And honestly, for me, the fact that we're also using this beautiful inspiration, it's got these caramel notes to it, it's got a biscuity feel to it as well. It's something so perfect for movie night too.
Yeah, and I think this lends itself well to kind of milk-based recipes as well. One thing you must remember is when they talk about the flavor, it's not this dominant sweetness or over-flavored. It's just the hints of flavor underlying this. Now, this is a blend of Brazilian and Ethiopian Arabicas that are in fact split roasted. So you've got the Brazilian beans, which are medium dark roasted, and then quickly develop their sweetness, while the Ethiopian coffee adds the velvety texture, and the caramel flavor then is added after the roasting.
Yeah, now it's an opportunity to get a smile on your face like this man over here after having a beautiful cuppa. I think the rest of the day is so sorted after that.
Because it's not sweet at all. So you get those caramel notes without that. It's not just like a syrup.
Though. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. And
it's a pleasure.
Oh, no,
it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. No,
all my hard work, G.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Honestly, with just a touch of the button, and it's as simple as that. And I mean, look how many smiles you're putting on your face. This is something that you essentially want to get in your home with all these flavors to choose from, all these sizes from carafe to espresso. Oh, say no more. We are here. We
For the win,
right?
man.
Enjoy, guys. What do you think?
Nespresso New Virtuo. With a single touch and innovative technology for a generous crema and unique moments to share. Virtuo, standards are meant to be broken. Nespresso, what else?
Simple as CBD should be.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Of course, we are kicking it like live on Expresso, opening up on S3 and talking to some incredible souls right now. And speaking of, with years of experience in acting and theatre world, all his charitable endeavours and his handsome looks, one might say that Mr. Gay World South Africa, Lo Breitenbach, has done, and he looks like he's never ever struggled with mental health. However, though, mental issues affect most, if not all of us. And Lo uses his platform to educate all of us so we know how to keep our mental health intact. And he's joining us this morning to share more about this and all the awesome work he does. So let's give him a feel-good welcome, Mr. Gay World South Africa. How are you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
You.
Yes. Man, it's good to have you. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to be here. Thank you so much.
It's good to have such a handsome gentleman on the couch here. It's
I can say the same.
Stop it. But look, man, you're an ambassador. You're representing South Africa and potentially Africa too. What was the reason for you deciding to enter the Mr. Gay World South Africa competition?
I think the biggest thing, and I've said this right through from the audition side of it, is that my reason for entering was to gain a bigger platform for my charities. It's something I've been doing for the past 8 years, and it really is something where I know the scope is that much bigger than just being a cover boy. And I really wanted to make a difference in the LGBTIQ plus community, to move away from the stigmatization of just the pretty boy look, but maybe pretty boys that actually do something to make the world a little bit brighter.
I like that. It's showcasing the full package, and there's more depth to it. And also at the same time, I think just educating a lot of us that need it right now and need to understand the perception. But not only that, I mean, it's a big stage. It's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of, let's say, eyes on you in that space. And you are someone that I absolutely love the fact that you openly are discussing and talking about mental health and the issues you're going through. And it's something you identified at a very young age, right? Yeah. What has this opportunity been like, having that issue, dealing with it, speaking about it, but at the same time, how's that journey been, especially going through and going on to such a big stage like this? How do you deal?
I think it's such a wonderful opportunity to be on such a big stage and talk about things that actually matter. I don't think there's anyone after COVID who came away unscathed and can say, oh, my mental health is amazing. Yeah. But the same way that we would go to gym or look at what we eat, we have that obligation to look after our mental health. As you said, from a very young age, I was first diagnosed at 12, went to my first therapist at 10, and currently have, well, hopefully not anymore, but currently have 7 mental health disorders that I function with, from PTSD to body dysmorphia and anxiety, depression, textile defensiveness, and all those things combined can make that you feel very alone in the world. This is just me stepping out onto a global stage saying, you guys aren't alone. There's a voice that has your back and that understands. And if you do feel alone and you do get those thoughts that take you to that darker place, to say there's a light at the end of that tunnel, and we're going to walk through this together.
Man, that's incredible. I mean, seeing what you've done, what you're currently doing, and what you're planning to do as well, and while all at the same time dealing with all of this, it's honestly inspirational. I'm not going to lie. And on top of that, I mean, it's crazy to think that you are someone you're an actor, you're a writer, you're an entertainer, you've been in theatre, you've published a book as well. Doing all of these, what many people would think is a position that puts you in so much anxiety and puts so much pressure on you, not necessarily a healthy space, but yet you're dealing so well. What's your reason for doing that, number one? And then at the same time, you seem to be using these skills to kind of pay it forward to the youth as well, right?
That's it. There's a quote that says, the bravest thing I ever did was to survive myself. And when you are a survivor of any form of struggle, whatever it may be in your life, I believe that you have that obligation to make the road a little bit easier for those that come after you. And the only way we can do that is by sharing our stories and removing this idea that we all have this perfect Instagram life. And it's great to have the Instagram life, but we need to add depth to it and reality to it, because people need to connect to that authenticity and where we go, you know what, young people, especially in South Africa, need to see that there's a hopeful future. It's not just all the potholes and the load shedding and the mental health and the education's predicament that we are in at the moment, that we had with lockdown. It's not just all bad. There's hope, and there's role models and people that are speaking about the things that matter to you, to pave the way and make it a little bit easier for you.
I can clearly see why you're representing South Africa, man. So well said. And literally, just listening to you, I can feel and hear your passion. I can see it. I mean, let's talk about the competition, though. I mean, it's exciting stuff. It's you're representing South Africa essentially at the Mr. Gay World event, right? Now, this is apparently taking place this weekend and next weekend. I got to ask you, what does it feel like representing your country, number one, being an ambassador, going up there against some of the very best in the world, and then also at the same time, what are your plans if you were to gain this title? I mean, what would you want to do with it?
Yeah, I think so. First off, obviously, it's such a massive honor to be proudly South African on such a global scale. But we're also representing Africa, as we are the only African country represented in this competition. And especially with this month being African Pride Month and Black History Month, I think representation is so important. There's 69 countries in the world where homosexuality is still illegal, and 29 of them are in Africa. So it's a massive responsibility that we carry, not only to represent the country in glitz and glam, but to vote for something that represents an entire continent, to make sure that we remove discrimination from those communities. And that will be my main focus. Of course, mental health, my Future Steps program, where we advocate for rights for children and schooling opportunities, but also to represent Africa and hopefully make a global impact on the stage to remove some of the discrimination and stigmatization around homosexuality.
Oh man, I'm feeling proud right now. I'm so glad that you are using your energy for so much. You sound so busy, but I can't wish you anything other than the best of luck for this week, and of course representing South Africa at Mr. Gay World. I'm excited. I remember this name, everybody. Lou Breitenbach is going to be representing South Africa and the rest of Africa. It's such an important cause right now, and it's something that we all need. And man, I can't thank you enough, and I'm wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, it's lovely stuff. We catch up with G. What's happening on your side, brother?
Well, buddy, everyone wants to try to live a healthy lifestyle, but Be Well are making it easier. They want to make it as easy as possible, in fact, with help of their amazing products and, of course, their amazing cookbook. They also want to reward you for making the right choices with the exciting Be Well Spin and Win game, where you stand a chance of winning some big prizes when you spin the digital wheel on the screen, from a jam-packed Be Well hamper to R1,000 in cash. This is what's up for grabs. So today we are so excited to announce our first winner. Drum roll, please. A massive congratulations to Norma Pelo Lunica. Yeah! Congratulations, Norma. Norma's on the line right now. In fact, a very good morning, Norma. How are you? You seem like the most wonderful person. How are you feeling? And tell us a bit about yourself.
Good, thank you. How are you, Graham?
I'm very good. All the better for connecting.
Mom.
Go for it.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have a 3-month baby who's keeping me crazy. So, yes.
Congratulations. Oh, so you're in the thick of it now, man. That's awesome. So I'm so glad that we can hopefully reward you with something amazing. How does it feel to be our first contestant? And what are you hoping that you're going to win today? Do you want the nice hamper? It's an amazing hamper. Do you want some cash? What are you looking for?
Ooh, cash is king, but I wouldn't mind the hamper.
Either way, you are going to win well. So on Tuesday, we asked you to tell us what's your favorite Be Well product.